Love that.
Is that a metronome?
Okay, that.
Now it bites me in the ass because
Why?
it's in all the Spotify playlists still, like all the major label pushed
And you're
artists
not
and
getting
tour
it.
stuff.
And you don't get it done.
Yeah, it has like millions and millions of fucking plays, but like I'm like making techno now, and that's still the top fucking song, so that hurts. But
Music is so much fun.
it's so fun.
Gonna bring you back once again.
DJing is goofy as hell. The
Yes.
whole thing is goofy as hell.
Yeah.
Like you're playing music that you made at a different time.
You already
you're just
made it.
dancing to it. Your lip. Everyone's like, "Oh, this is fake." The whole thing is fake. Everything is fake now, man. Like, relax. Just have a good time.
Welcome back to the I'm Peaking podcast. We have a question of the day for you guys today. What musical artist did you used to listen to back in the SoundCloud era or back in the, I guess, 2014 through 2016 era that got big today? And what did you think about their new style if they ended up going into a new style?
Ooh, I have one already.
Yes.
Ooh.
Arm & Hammer, because I used to listen to their mixes, and then they became popular.
Okay.
But would you say their mixes and their style and sound is still similar to what it was before?
Kind of. I mean, it evolved. I would say it evolved.
Okay.
Yeah.
As it should.
Yeah.
As it should. You guys know who Versace is?
Yes.
Versace?
Yeah.
That's
you speak my language. Yeah.
That's my biggest one for sure.
All
Like,
the OG like trap kind of stuff
Yeah.
was like where I was really invested.
Yes.
Like culturally and just like making myself.
also, who's,
Yeah.
who's throwing like a ukulele on a trap beat?
Dude.
Personally, that was
So
my favorite
hard.
touch.
Oh, who did stuff like that? Pyramid Plaza, not ukulele, but like
Oh,
also
okay.
like very like crazy instrumentation.
I've never heard of Pyramid
Oh,
Plaza.
you need to.
Now
they
write
like
it down.
that era. What was it like? Pyramid Plaza, like Oshi, early Medicine.
Oshi's
Medicine.
good.
Oh, early Medicine.
Medicine.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
like
That's a good one.
And I mean, he's making very different stuff now too. I
Yeah.
like his new stuff as
Yeah.
well. He's
I feel
very
like it's
talented, man.
more medicine. Are we talking about medicine?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I feel like it's more. I'll say the word elegant.
Elegant
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
definitely the way to describe his new kind of direction,
Yeah.
which I've always thought he's been very tasteful.
Yes,
That's like-
somebody who like can sit there and listen to the music. I really appreciate it. It's less like in your face, less like
Yeah.
kind of over the top popular sound. But
I
it's
think
like-
a lot of people from that era went like that direction with either going into like pop production or just refining that to where it was like, very elegant.
That was the word
Could be
I
on a
was-
runway
finding
type
a good word.
vibe. I think that was, and then I went totally the opposite way.
As you should.
I went totally opposite.
As you should.
So I just wanted to ask the audience real fast, like, to answer that question, is there an artist that you loved with a specific genre that they had, and then they changed over the years? How did you feel about that? Or did you still love them as an artist, or did you now hate them?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. Well, don't hate them.
No, I know. I'm saying don't hate them, of course, but
Don't.
that's the question I want to know, because like I have a couple of favorite artists myself who their genre has fully changed, but I love them as an artist and the music they create and the energy, but the sound they make now is not my favorite.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get a,
you
get a
know,
little
and-
closer there.
I have
Do I
another
anything in my
one.
teeth?
What?
Oh, good.
Slumberjack.
No, fantastic. Thank you.
Slumberjack.
Slumberjack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so Slumberjack, they were like
that
trap,
down, too.
future bassy, a duo, but now they're going into house now.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to their new stuff, but that,
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna.
feels very parallel.
Man, we were talking about that earlier before the thing. I was curious. You asked the audience something, and I wanted to like put onto that. Like, okay, so when you like an artist and they change their sound, they kind of evolve. Do you listen to that music still out of respect for the artist, or do you just kind of not because it's not the kind of music you like? Like I think it would go with the latter. You would not listen to the music because it's not the kind of music that really speaks to you anymore, but you should still respect the artist.
Yeah.
Like that's my
Yeah,
Yeah,
idea.
I feel that. I feel that. Yeah.
Depends on the attachment that you've
Sure.
gained with the artist, you know.
Sure.
Like I know when Zed started, making more of his poppy stuff, by then I just was a hardcore Zed fan.
Yeah.
So regardless,
Still
I
are.
liked it. Yeah, I still am.
Yo, the
Yeah.
early electro stuff though, that was
Yeah, no,
Dude,
I mean,
Vine.
it's
That's slam. That's what I got into.
untouchable.
Yeah.
Spectrum is my favorite song of all time.
Oh my God.
You know, so it's I understand, but I also think that like I can appreciate how he can still include his old sound in there somewhat, and he has his signature still. You know, he's got the ticking clock, the vocoders, all that stuff.
Does he still
So-
play on Tractor live?
I
I don't even know if you would know
know
that.
Yeah.
Last time I saw
Also,
it,
I
I was
don't
like,
even
wow,
think I've
respect.
seen Tractor. Like, I don't
It
think I've
was
ever
the
looked
only
at
two
Tractor.
people I knew doing that. When I started, I used a Tractor. Like,
Okay.
and it was like,
Mm.
and then my deck like just completely like died on me,
Blew
and
up.
like in Chicago in like 2014 or like 15, and there was just dead air for 3 minutes, and I was like, I'm never fucking doing this again. Like, I'm just getting USBs. I'm gonna be a grown up.
That's
like
funny.
fucking.
When the party
Don't
goes
worry.
quiet.
Oh yeah, it was so embarrassing. I was like, this is amateur hour right
The
now.
one thing I have to do is play music, and I can't
Yeah.
do that.
But Carmack and Zed were the people I knew that also were doing.
Carmack.
Yeah.
That's another name. That's another old name.
Wow.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say Luca Lush is another artist that
Oh,
used to
God.
listen to on the SoundCloud days and makes different stuff now. I dig both of
Yeah.
them. So
Thank you.
Who is Luca Lush?
who is Luca Lush?
That's a deep dive kind of question.
Shall we get into
Existential.
our proper intro?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Well, I'm Devin. Again, welcome back to the I'm Peaking podcast. Who
Who?
else do we have today? And we're gonna introduce you last.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
I'm Mickie.
I'm Nand.
I'm GZoom.
And
All
I'm
right,
Luca.
and I have
Like a
another
regular.
curated.
Oh, he is like a
Intro.
whole ass intro.
Oh,
I
for
like
you.
God.
doing. I like doing.
yeah,
these.
go ahead, go ahead.
Poetry
I
in his
like
Get ready
doing
to
these.
blush. It's pretty sweet.
That's why
All
I wear
right.
the glasses.
So you can't see him crying.
Ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen, I'm just kidding. Hailing all the way from New York, you might have known him as the master of trap remixes back during the 2015-2016 SoundCloud era, making some of the sickest remixes to tracks like Panda or Sicko Mode. Or you might know him as mastering the dark arts with Professor Snape in the Chamber of Techno. He is the interior sound designer and techno demon with a legendary stash. Luca Lush, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. That was really beautiful.
Thank you.
Iconic.
Thank you. I
Very
appreciate
flattered.
it. I like doing those. So. But yeah, dude, thanks for being here.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I saw Little Texas, my boy.
Oh yeah, I love Sam.
And so I hit you guys up. I was like, that looks fun.
Sick.
Like,
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
yeah.
I'm so sad he moved. Oh.
Yeah, no, I was just
He
talking
moved?
to him.
Yeah, he moved to Vegas.
Dang
Yeah.
it.
I know.
I never got to meet him.
Oh,
Dude, he
legend.
comes out here pretty often.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll visit again.
I want him to teach me that witchcraft that is hard style, bro.
Dude, he's
no, raw
fucking,
style.
Raw style, up
when
tempo.
he first
Up-tempo.
moved over to that, like it was 2019, and I hit him up because I saw him posting this crazy shit on SoundCloud because
Yeah.
I had no really exposure to like hardcore. By then, I was like, and I was like, whoa, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And I was like, I just made some like that day and then sent it over to him. I was like, yo, like, let's work on something. He was like, oh yeah, hell yeah. And he literally came over like, I think 2 days later and we finished the
sick.
track. And then I put it out and my fans were so fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Like they were like, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, it was cool to me and I think it's fucking
Dude,
cool.
It's
So
one of
Damn.
those genres that has
Yeah.
such like a visceral reaction to people that
Yeah.
don't like it. I don't. That's. I mean, kind of
Yeah.
honestly, story
But
of my
now
life with
People
everything.
my trajectory
love-
is like a lot similar to where he is. I should have just like doubled down back
done
then instead. I had so many people that, like, cause I had like managers and agents that were making money off like what I was doing at the time.
Yeah.
And they were like, nah, you can't fucking
Nah.
do this shit. You can't do fucking
You have to
hardcore.
make
You can't do
money.
techno. None of this shit. Keep making future bass, dude.
Yeah.
Where's the bag at? And I was just done. I was just done.
I
doing
feel
it at
that
that point.
so hard. Yes.
damn. And now techno is like popping. So
Oh my god.
Yeah.
2 years
You
ago when I
popping
did that,
off.
my agent dropped me literally
Wait,
off the bat.
really?
Yeah, I'm
But did you
open
get
with that.
picked up again, or just like, no, I'm just an independent
Yeah,
at this point?
I got a German agent. I have an
Nice.
Asian agent right now.
German
not
agent.
Asian. He is based in Asia. He is
Got
he's
it.
French. Very
Okay.
interesting. But then we're talking to some U.S.
Nice,
representation
nice.
right
Nice.
now. But 2.5 years ago, I switched over like fully. I was like, fuck it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I sent my agent at the time about like a dozen techno tracks that were done. And the next day they emailed me and they're like, we can't represent this project anymore.
Wow. Dude, that's the thumbnail.
It was
Or
so
that's
funny.
that's the title
Oh
of
god!
this
No,
video.
well, no, I like the thing is like there wasn't any bad blood or anything. Like it wasn't a bad.
No.
I was like, I get it.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
that's cool. Like
They just
you know.
didn't believe in.
I mean,
that would
techno
be-
wasn't
just didn't
moving
believe in
then.
you,
Yeah.
you know?
No, I mean, like at
in that
time.
moment in time, it was just like the
If I was an
atmosphere.
agent at that time, I would have said the same thing. I'd be
Well,
like,
that's
"You're
True.
fucking
Yeah.
Why
being
would you
ridiculous."
say that as an agent?
Well, because
Like,
techno was not moving in the States at that time. Like
Yeah.
I was doing it because I thought it was cool. I was watching all these boiler rooms and stuff, and I was like,
like
Yeah.
how
this
many
stuff is
times
fun.
how many times do industry people need to see the same story over and over and over again to understand that you have to be ahead of a curve?
Exactly.
But I will. I mean, you're right, and I agree. But like, I can understand from a business perspective. you know, like
It's a
from
risk.
monetary. Yeah, it's a business risk, and you want to do stuff that's like going to be more of a guaranteed return, and you want to rep the artists that are already popping.
Yeah.
So
That's fair.
that makes sense to me. And like, you know, if you put that as a clip and he sees it, I'll just be like, no, but dude, I still fuck with him. I still think he's a cool dude. No bad blood. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Like, I've been in the industry long enough to know how that works, and I'm not like personally offended by it anymore.
Yeah,
you
well,
know?
you shouldn't be personally offended by it. That's kind of, I think one of my friends, Daniel Allen, told me that musicians
I love Daniel Allen. Yeah, I love that. I love that dude. Yeah.
Musicians take the most L's. That's what I think he got that from somebody else, but like he says that a lot, and so it's just like I firmly believe that too, and I think it makes it easier to catch hate, you know, or to be told that like, this ain't it.
It's like, hey, this ain't working. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna keep doing me though.
Fine. You just gotta throw more. It's all like shots on goal, honestly. Like with every creative pursuit, I think.
Yes.
Trial and error.
Yeah, basically.
Wayne Gretzky. That's all that bops into my head.
Yeah, Wayne Gretzky, man. Hell yeah.
When I hear shots on goal.
Yeah.
That's all I hear.
Well, going into the techno, the techno stuff. I mean, I know you got pretty big off of the Harry Potter.
Dude, that was so funny. I have a bunch more stuff that I need to finally get around to doing. That's on my idea board.
Is it based on other themes?
Okay. Like just kind of like cross pollinating cultural things into techno, because like with the current meta of content, right? Which is that's a deep dive. We could talk about that for a whole fucking podcast.
Probably will.
But it's inserting, whatever it is that you do, and kind of like tricking people into getting what it is, and by using things that are more culturally relevant that I think everyone can latch onto, like Harry Potter. Like everybody knows, like you probably read it as a kid, or you've had some sort of exposure to that media. And so seeing that in a novel context with something else, you're like, oh, that's really cool. And then for me, that works because then I can be like, oh, well, now they know me for the techno stuff. It's kind of the same thing that I did with doing remixes back in the SoundCloud era, where I was like, okay, I want to do future-based.
100%. Yeah.
I can't just throw it out there without any money to promote it. I don't have a fucking label. I don't have any of this shit. So, or at the time, I didn't. Now we got a lot of, we can play some of it later. But, it's just like using basically your creativity as a lever or leverage to, get yourself out there.
Right.
And like, how can you combine these obscure ideas together?
Yeah, no, I mean, it is genius.
A lot of pop music
I wouldn't say it's genius.
It's smart.
Well, a lot of pop music, and I mean content in general, kind of rides on that like relatability. It's like putting yourself in the shoes of either the artist, the person that's making the content, or the person that's making the music. And so with rap music, like personally, if I'm listening to one of my favorite artists, Nav, in the rap space.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Like he raps about him being a boss. It's just classic rap stuff. But that's why I like that music. It makes me feel like I'm the boss, Who's
like, that guy
I run this shit.
Yeah, exactly. with EDM, there's like less of that. There's less of that. Like I'm in it. I'm this relatable to me. But like the second you take something like SpongeBob or something like Harry Potter and you put that in a song, all of a sudden you're like touching somebody's like, inside
nostalgic.
relatable, nostalgic sense.
Glorb, right? You definitely do.
Glorb.
Have you seen this? It's like he's got to be a producer.
Wait, is Glorb like an artist?
Yeah, well, he does these YouTube
awesome
videos,
name.
and it's SpongeBob, right? It's SpongeBob, but it's like rage type beats, but it's really good. Like you listen to the production, and you're like, dude, this guy's like actually way too good to be doing this. But that's why I think it's I don't know who the identity of it is, but I will shout that out because I think that's a really cool project because the music is banging.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's like Squidward talking about fucking shooting guns and like getting bitches, and you're like, what is going on?
With the AI
and it
voice stuff.
Yeah. So the guy is definitely talented because with the AI stuff right now, like you still have to sing it yourself, and then you process it, and then you throw it through.
And some of them are really janky too, so you have to sing it well.
You have to sing it well, and so just highly like if you want to play that later too. Some of that stuff.
Maybe on the bonus segment, it would be perfect.
Absolutely big.
That's what I'm listening to on the way home. For sure.
I thought you because I feel like you're in that kind of world.
What the weird world?
Weird world, the memes.
I just figured because you're weird,
just a little.
Make an assumption.
Yeah. I played Wobbly Dolphin on my page of the while.
I saw that.
that
that.
song. You guys heard that song?
I have because of you.
Good.
So-
Excellent. Yeah. More people need to hear it.
Yeah.
Well, but it's really funny because just mentioning the Harry Potter thing. I mean, I was going to ask you personally because your remix of Sicko Mode that you did back in 2015, 2016, I remember listening to it. And I remember because, it's got 3 different drops and the in-betweens, the bridges, they sound so Harry Potter.
Yeah, no.
And I was like, I'm like, wow, this sounds like, I feel like I'm like walking
In
up to Hogwarts right now. And then when you did the Chamber of Techno thing, I'm like, does Luca just have like a thing with Harry Potter?
I do. I don't know. Like that kind of like just obviously, I think in the Sicko Mode, that might be part of the original song. I might have just redone the instrumentation. I have to go back and check.
I'm talking about like the bell section.
Yeah, the middle bell section. Yeah. I think so. I'd have to go double check, but I do just I like those sort of sounds.
Yeah.
Like it's fun.
That's a great choice.
Yeah. So but I have to check because I don't want somebody to be like, oh, it's just the original sample. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Like, dude, I've made so many songs at this point that it's difficult to remember.
It's also your remix. So like, it's like you made it how you wanted to make it.
Dude, I had somebody was like driving me, I think this was 2016. Somebody was driving me back from like a frat show that I had played. And they put on a song and I was like, yo, this song is dope. Who did this? And they're like, this is yours. And I was like, oh shit.
At least you're consistent.
Were you like intoxicated? You didn't recognize
I was
your own?
definitely intoxicated.
Oh, 100%,
Absolutely. I wasn't driving. So I was like, oh yeah.
I've heard this before.
It's like, dude, this slaps so hard.
This is really good.
Yeah.
I gotta collab with them.
Somebody's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, this guy's got ghost producers."
This guy fucks.
I do ghost produce. So yeah, if you're looking for somebody, hit my line.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. How much you charge?
We can talk.
Got it. Yes.
But like speaking of like memes and stuff, do you think that a lot of DJs now, especially on like social media, they make memes into their songs in order to like elevate their brand and to be memorable?
Absolutely. I think that it's almost like it's either you have money to throw into marketing or you have creativity to figure out what, can attract people to your brand and to what is, genuinely what you're trying to do. Because like, I don't think that most people like deep down want to be just a joke, or want to be just a meme. There's some like
they want to be taken seriously.
Yeah, there's some
Yeah.
artistic center that they're trying to get through, and I think doing that is a way that you can, break through the noise and get people that are like genuine fans of whatever it is that you are actually interested in sharing with the world culturally.
It's a really tough thing because music is supposed to be fun. Like it's supposed to be just something that we can all enjoy and it's entertainment, right? But like on the one hand, if you're an artist trying to get heard, that's like a really deep desire.
Yeah.
And so on one hand, you want to be lighthearted and you want to be fun. But on the other hand, if you're just making like something from your idea and nobody feels connected to that for any reason, nobody's going to listen to you and nobody's going to hear you. I mean, a personal example of mine, I love SpongeBob and I just got into D&B. And so I made that SpongeBob D&B song.
Yeah.
A lot of people listen to it. A lot of people,
Banger.
thank you. A lot of people love it, but it's not like I don't like SpongeBob. Obviously I don't want to make an entire SpongeBob album. I might, but like that inspiration needs to be authentic. So it's like exactly what Luca was saying. I don't think it's about like, you really want to do that, but it could be fun.
Yeah.
It's like having it add an extra layer, to elevate the brand. Like I can think of Shrek with
Shrek,
Excision.
with Excision. Like he doesn't need that, but it elevated it. It made it way more fun.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it made it memorable. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who they know what Shrek is, but they don't know Excision, so they go watch and see now, and they're like, "Oh my god, this is awesome!"
Yeah.
Excision dropped like a Shrek remix.
Shrek like visual,
Like visuals.
He's got the visuals.
vomiting
He's
like
been
lava.
kind
at
of
everybody.
like riding that lately.
He's been riding it.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, I mean, like a lot of people have been like really into it, and that's one of the memorable things.
So they have that
from
whole
his-
Shrek rave now.
Dude,
Yeah.
Shrek
I feel like I
Rave is
talked
fucking
about that
incredible.
last time I was on this
Yeah.
podcast.
But
too.
I feel like when it comes to like these meme stuff, like you're the only like techno producer that does it, because usually when
Oh,
it comes
yeah.
to like memes and stuff, it's
Thank
always
you.
like towards like dubstep or
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
That's
well,
true.
Yeah.
I'm in America right now, so I'm kind of trying to push. Like, there aren't that many, I would say, hard techno people in America right now, and I'm not somebody who's going to come in the comments and it's going to be like some old guy with a beard, glasses, and refuses to DJ on anything but vinyl, and he's going to be hating. And this is to that person who is an archetype who's always in my comments. There is a obviously a huge, strong history of techno in the States, going back to Detroit.
Yeah.
I know what the city of Detroit is.
Yes.
Okay. And I know the history of techno. I've read into it. Like, I didn't go into it being like, oh, this sounds
This sounds cool. I'm gonna make this.
I mean, it does sound cool.
Yeah.
But like, you do, there is it is the foundation, I think.
respect it.
Yeah, of a lot of dance music currently can be traced back to, the sounds that came out of that early, like 80s, late 80s era. And those people are still crushing it. If you get a chance to catch anybody live, it's like, whoa.
Nand and I were literally talking about this before you walked in, which is like, I make a lot of techno inspired stuff, but it's not techno. Like what I make is not techno. And it's sometimes I feel like ostracized or called out for that reason, which is like, well, this isn't pure techno. This is trying to be techno, but it's not quite techno. It's like, techno sounds good, man. And there's stuff in
even
techno.
within techno, people will say that to other subgenres of techno. Because like I'm like doing like the industrial with hard style influence, a little bit of Schranz kind of thing. And then somebody that does something that's more traditional, or somebody that does like Marcel Bettman or like the Berghain, like Berlin style stuff, or somebody.
Sounds like techno has such like a purist like energy
100%.
to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of like that in a way though. Like it is like
They're like hardcore, like they would like defend that shit to the fucking end.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like it's like they're very passionate about it, and people that go to the shows are there for the music. And I felt personally that I wasn't getting that as much out of like traditional American dance music at a certain point. So
what do European techno DJs think about you? Because I know we had Sam on the podcast earlier, and he was saying that like all the Europeans were like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you bringing hardstyle to America? Like you sound like trash.
What?
Basically. Do you get any of those?
Oh yeah, lots of people hit. I mean, like the thing that's helped me the most is just to understand that like the wider your reach, like there's always going to be a percentage of people that really fucking hate you. The wider your reach gets, like the more people.
Oh, we all know.
Yeah, you guys probably see comments like that too, right?
It's a fun fact. It's the purple cow theory.
Yeah. It's your human brain is like, oh no, like you pay more attention to that because like you don't want to be ostracized from the group. But like in reality, it's like it doesn't really matter. But specifically with regards to the European stuff, no, I've been collaborating with a lot of European artists, and
awesome.
I have a ton of respect for that scene. I'm playing some shows in Germany in June.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hopefully some more will get booked. I'm really excited to make my pilgrimage as an American doing this kind of style that is obviously more popular in Europe. And I would say, obviously originated originally in Detroit, but, really fermented and expanded through like the Berlin scene, and like, in Amsterdam, and France has a crazy scene. France has a crazy scene right now. Like the Possession guys, like Trim. I have a collab with this guy KXCHR. I don't know exactly how to pronounce his name. KXCHR, but he's out of there, and like. Yeah, it's just really exciting. It gets me really excited seeing all the cool stuff that is coming out of there right now.
I think like one of the main comments that I get is people telling me that techno isn't part of the EDM umbrella.
Yes.
I love this one.
Yeah. Well,
do you agree or disagree?
I somewhat agree, but in like a very nuanced way that might not make sense. I think the culture of techno is very different from the culture of EDM. And when people say EDM, they're usually referring to commercial mainstream American dance music.
EDM didn't become a thing until the 2010s.
I think techno is a form of electronic dance music.
Yes,
right.
And that's like
that's how it should be.
That's how I view it. So every time I get like those comments, because I do like a lot of music videos or whatever, I always get those comments of like Europeans telling me, oh, techno isn't EDM. And I'm like, but it's you dance
you
to
make it electronic.
It's electronic music.
It's a weird
so that's how I put it in my head.
Are you making it with pots and pans? And then it's electronic.
Sometimes you are.
I guess you kind of are. Yeah, but you got to put them together, piece them together somehow.
The industrial stuff does just sound like pots and pans over like a rumble kick.
That's fair.
It's supposed to sound like you're in a factory.
That's fair. That's fair.
Part of those like that idea too with techno or techno culture is that we're cooler than you.
It is
that we're not EDM. Okay, we're techno.
I don't know. I just feel like they see just techno in general is just like their own culture.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
Hey, let them. They
I
got good
totally
music.
get it.
They got good music.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I think
know?
even in the styles of dress, though, there is like less of a crossover. Although, like, techno, I would say, is also more like all encompassing and embracing of like, if you dress weird, like it's totally fine.
Yeah.
There is more of like a style, I would say, at a lot
think
of those
it's just
shows.
based on
But
Dark color.
I think
Yeah.
color.
Yeah.
But what I've noticed lately is that because I also follow like a lot of European TikTokers who do like techno. They're like
Yeah.
techno. I've noticed that they're bringing in color in their videos lately.
a little bit more. It depends on the
Yeah.
scene,
Was
right?
it all
like,
black and
if
white
you're,
before?
All they did was like dark colors, but now I'm seeing neon, and I'm like, cool.
Hell yeah. Let's
I was
go.
like, cool.
They discovered
Yeah.
There's a lot
color.
of like fetish and bondage influence stuff
Oh.
in the
A nice turn.
Yes,
Yeah.
a nice turn.
Possibly.
But then also, I think with stuff like kind of like the Marlon Hostoff, more fun stuff, or even the hard groove kind of wing of techno, there's
Party
a little
Boy
bit
69.
more. Party Boy 69, yeah, like there's a bit more. Well, that's even like G House, like like oh man, Party Boy's sick. I could talk about that for so long.
I
Yeah,
loved his set at Desert Heart.
he's so good, and the brand.
And I don't know why it took me that
The
long to
man.
figure out he was Aussie. Like I didn't know he was Australian the whole time, and then he talked.
You can tell from the vibe.
No, which is
It's got a very
baffling because
Aussie
I
vibe.
should know
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I just never thought of it. I just thought he was cool.
Yeah,
That's all.
well, yeah, every Australian's cool. That's in their
Seriously.
blood, man.
Yeah, it's like I should have known. Yeah.
Dude, I love Australia. They're all so fucking cool.
Have you been?
No, but I want to.
Same.
Right, it's great.
Right.
Nor.
Well,
Pingers,
you fucking
shoeies,
cunt.
fucking cunt, mate.
Have to go down under.
You're a fucking legend, you know that?
Hey, wow,
You're really good.
at accents.
I'm okay.
I've been trying. I thought I was like.
He was
good at
giving
He was
some
doing
sense.
like German
Yeah, I
off
want to hear it.
camera.
I want to
Yeah,
hear it
I'm
right now.
I'm gonna do it bad now that I'm on like
Yeah,
under the
but
spotlight.
now-
If
now
it
I
comes
gotta
out
hear it.
organically
Gotcha,
later.
gotcha.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh yeah. Well, just to wrap it, just because we're gonna end this segment, but just to wrap it up on the meme thing, let us know what your guys' favorite meme song is at the moment, or meme artist, if you have one. And
Also, tell me why techno heads hate every other genre.
yeah, techno heads.
tell me why you can't relax and just share the music, huh?
Oh my god.
That's what I'm awesome.
I feel attacked, but like rightfully
Right.
so.
It's
I have definitely like become this pretentious prick.
Yeah,
Totally.
dude, why are you wearing sunglasses?
I know,
you're
it's
wearing the
really
all
bright.
black
It's really bright.
sunglasses.
It
I'm
actually
nervous.
is really
So,
bright, though.
But no, like I'll go into like a show and be like, oh my god, this is
You
not
fuckers.
it. Yeah, no, but like in my head, and then I'm just like, shh, just enjoy it. Like, just shut up.
Yeah,
Like,
just accept it. Yeah.
Quick question. I just had a thought too. It's just like the whole meme thing. It just makes me think of Doja Cat and "Bitch I'm a Cow."
I love
love
Doja
that
Cat.
song.
Hell yeah,
Bitch, I'm a
Bitch, My Cat is a
And then also
fucking great song.
Chainsmokers with a #selfie.
Yeah.
It's like, sometimes you just gotta make like a bop
Skrillex,
that doesn't
oh my
mix with the
God.
rest of your
Yeah.
music.
Sometimes
No,
you just gotta
yeah.
make a meme banger.
Just got to
you
goof
know?
out, bro.
Yeah.
Because like
Goof
I can say I didn't know either of those artists until those songs were made
Yeah.
first.
Personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
And love.
Just want to take a quick second to thank our sponsor for this video, BoomBoom. If you guys already haven't,
Am I doing
go
it right?
check them out. Yeah. Oh wait, maybe hold the logo forward.
Yeah. It's your your everyday
see it.
nasal stick to feel refreshed wherever you are, especially at a festival when you're like,
Especially at a
yeah.
festival.
when it smells like shit.
They are really refreshing, and they
Yeah.
have a lot of cool flavors as well. I think what's that one?
This one's tropical. That
then-
one is
I st-
winter.
This is winter mint.
mint.
I still think it's funny that you say flavors.
Oh, I
Aroma?
I
You were
forget.
talking about tasting one
Scents.
earlier.
Oh yeah.
Sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was talking about more than that, but I don't think we want to.
We don't
Yeah.
know.
this segment.
I mean, hey, have you tried these before?
I was pro with that conversation. Yeah, I was like in it. Yeah.
Spicy. bun.
Spicy boys.
The winter fresh really does smell exactly like a piece of winter fresh gum.
Yes.
Yeah.
Winter fresh.
Or
This is
winter mint, sorry.
Winter mint.
There you
It
go.
hits different.
You know
as
what a
they say.
good
It
good
hit good.
smell good smell they could have would be like spearmint. I'm just a big spearmint gum kind
No,
of
I
I
person.
like
thought you were going to
spearmint a
say
lot,
something
too, yeah.
weird.
I
like
know.
Tractor.
Yeah.
Papaya.
Well, that's good.
That one's
That's
good.
also
That
good.
one's
That's
good.
also
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, guava maybe.
Guava.
Get
Okay,
some
fine.
tropical
Durian?
boys.
What are you trying to do?
Well,
Weird
durian.
fruit?
Durian?
I like how you still stuck to the
Spiky.
fruit.
Boom, boom.
idea.
Take notes.
That's good. No, don't do
What
it.
is the
durian.
wildest aroma you could think of? If you were like, obviously not something like super
For
like
like
a
a smell
skateboard
stick?
wheel, but like something
Like
that
an actual like
something that would
food
smell
or,
good.
like,
It doesn't have to be
fruit.
food. Like
No,
some
smells
people,
good. I was
yeah.
thinking of bad.
Like-
I was thinking sulfur.
Yeah.
like one
that's-
person that I know loves the smell of gasoline for
Yeah,
whatever
gasoline-
reason.
gasoline
Same.
For
kinda
whatever
hits
reason.
it.
Same.
Sharpie.
Just don't do
Oh, that's
that.
a weird one.
I like
Don't
cigarette
do that.
flavored. Honestly, tobacco. That would
Hey,
smell
Camel
nice.
Crushes.
Yeah, Camel Crushes hit.
I don't like smoking cigarettes, but they smell good.
Fun
Exactly.
fact, I've
yeah,
actually
we could say that about something else, but we won't.
Sure.
Yeah.
I've actually never smoked cigarettes before, but I grew up with my best friend having Camel Crushes all the time, so I just got so attuned to the
Yeah.
smell,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
just like, can I squish it? Can I crush it? Can I crush it?
Dude, my dad's car just smelled like Marlboro Reds, and then he was like, "Don't smoke," and then, well,
Well, sorry,
did it
Dad.
work?
sorry, it did not work.
Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Dad.
It's like,
I don't
Here I am
smoke
now.
that off. I smoke like when I'm like performing on stage. I'll
Yeah.
have a cigarette because it's just very.
Is it the brand?
It just looks cool.
Yeah.
I'm just
It
straight
does.
up.
I
Like,
mean,
you
I
are
feel
a
like that
techno
is-
looks fucking
DJ.
really
you
cool.
have
Like,
to kind of
Yeah.
fit.
I might get one of some of those candy cigarettes.
yeah,
Those candy
those
ones
are- those-
do those work? I
the
never had those.
Korean vanilla cigarettes are also incredible.
Like, are they actually cigarettes?
Oh, they're really no,
Like-
they are cigarettes. They're
Okay,
just
okay.
really good cigarettes.
They're not like candy. Like the
no,
ones
they're
I'm
like
talking about.
yogurt flavored, they're vanilla flavored.
Whoa.
But like,
Interesting.
it's really good. They won't sell those here, but they'll
It's
sell you
like,
a flavored.
We don't
Yogurt.
condone. We don't condone smoking.
We're- yeah,
so
we're
you
just
take
talking-
it at
we're
your
just
own
talking about it.
risk.
Please contact your local
stunt cigs.
medical professional.
Yeah, and also if you're a parent, don't tell your kid not to smoke as you're smoking a cigarette. You know,
Yeah.
it's not really the best strategy.
Nah, but I love my dad. That's
Oh yeah,
okay.
yeah, no worries, no worries.
Yeah,
I just wanted to put that out there as a general.
Devin,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
if you tell your kids not to do something, I think that's like the biggest thing they're gonna do.
Yeah,
do it.
100%.
So
Well,
like
I
just
think it's just the role model thing. Like he was smoking a pack a day until I was like 14 years old.
Yeah,
so
well.
like, you know.
monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah,
So you
Monkey
should
do.
try to
Yeah.
convince
Yeah.
your
Monkey
kid
do.
to smoke.
Yeah.
My parents,
Yes.
my parents,
That'll work.
like they saw raving on the TV and news. They told me to never do it.
There you go.
What am I doing right
Here
now?
we are. Yeah, it's always how it goes, man.
So in actuality, just tell your kids to do the things you don't
And
want
Yeah.
them to do.
It's reverse psychology.
Yeah, no,
Exactly.
because then they'll think it's not cool.
Exactly.
You do it.
Exactly.
Honestly, just be like, hey, you want to go to a rave? I'll go with you.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
Never
never mind.
and then before the kid even knows how to like overcome that social anxiety, you just embarrass them.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Before they realize
Ruin
that
their
that's not a thing.
reputation and
It's easy.
traumatize them for life.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Wow, we
Wow,
got
we're gonna be-
parenting
we're
down.
gonna be crazy
Yeah.
We all have kids, right?
Yes.
definitely.
I have to go pick them up right now.
Oh, yeah.
Actually.
Oh my god.
I don't have a kid. Just to clarify. I'm not opposed.
Yeah,
but
I
don't
have them.
My kid meows every once in a while.
Mine
I
barks.
have 3 cats. Yeah.
So
What did you say
3
about
cats.
what'd you
mine
say?
barks. My
Your-
child barks.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mine
got it.
meows.
That's adorable.
we went from boom boom sense to our children.
Yeah,
so-
sorry.
I
Sorry
know
about
it's okay. So I read somewhere that you are from Micronesia. I don't know if that's
that
actually.
was none of that.
Okay,
that
that's-
was absolutely trolling.
Dog shit.
That's what I
yeah,
thought.
That was a Spotify bot because like at the
Wait,
time somebody was
what?
like, I wrote this ridiculous thing. I just chose the most like
Random
obscure.
shit?
Yeah, I just chose the most obscure country that I could find.
Yeah.
So you're telling me
So
there's
I
a
just-
real
I
country?
flipped- there's a country called Micronesia. It's in the Pacific Ocean. Yeah.
Wait,
So I
it's
just
like-
flipped the globe
well, it's
around.
not
and I was just
underwater.
looking.
You're
it's
like,
probably
there.
almost underwater now, but yeah, I think there's like it
Micronesia.
has a population of like under.
Did you just do it for
50,000
shits and
people.
giggles?
Wow.
It was it was just like
Imagine that.
Yeah, it was like
Being from
Luca was
Micronesia.
born in the jungles of Micronesia
I
from a
saw
genetic
that.
spliced experiment, something like
Yeah.
that. It was
A
obviously
gorilla,
like
a gorilla
bullshit.
gave
Yeah.
him a computer and he
Yeah.
learned how to
It was
make
really
music.
confusing at first because I was like looking up your stuff for your bio.
Oh, yeah.
And then I had a thing tell me that your name was also Frederick, and I was
Oh,
just
that's another joke that keeps on getting.
Oh,
yeah.
the
And I
internet
was
is
like,
amazing.
what is it? Is
I
it
don't know how that
Wolfgang? Is
happened.
it Frederick?
Wait,
What is
so
it?
is Wolfgang your actual name or is that just another fuck?
Wolfgang is my birth name.
That's crazy.
But like I forget when sometime I was working with my old management team and they asked me like, oh, can you just submit something? And so I just like was like, this would be funny to like give a fake name. And so I wrote Frederick, and I guess that got into like a blog somewhere, and then other people started repeating it, and it was monkey see monkey do, and then I had to like correct it online and be like, I tweeted like, that's not actually my name. Like, but it was like originally just a joke.
But then you actually tell them it's Wolfgang. They're like, okay, now you're still fucking
Yeah,
Wolfgang.
no, it was like,
That's actually my name.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I like that, honestly. Just leave a bunch of fake information in
It's
the
kind
internet.
of funny.
It is
like,
funny.
Yeah, like just kind of like
No one actually
muddled the
knows.
waters.
So why did your parents name you Wolfgang?
Because they thought it was cool.
That
Then
is-
they thought
it is sick.
Then they
It's
thought
sick
it
as
wasn't
fuck.
cool anymore. I don't know, man.
I had a question too. I mean, Luca Lush, how did you come up with that?
I just
name?
thought it was a nice alliteration.
It is.
Honestly,
It is.
It just like
Flows off.
phonetically.
It flows off the tongue
It was phonetically
really well.
nice. That's all.
Yeah.
Really.
Wow.
Not anything
Has
more than
nothing
that.
to do with your name.
Nah. Yeah. I just thought it was
Pretty
nice.
cool. Yeah.
Sometimes it's got a lot of meaning, and sometimes it doesn't.
It just
I
looks
feel
cool.
like the best things just acquire the meaning after the fact.
Yeah.
You know, like when they have a lot of tattoos and they want to tell me a gigantic fucking spiel about every one of their fucking tattoos, I want to blow my brains out. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But if somebody's like, yeah, I just thought it was cool and I got it, I have so much more respect for them. Like,
Yeah.
So then, what's the story about the Whooper
I
tattoo on your
literally
arm?
just thought it was cool and I got it. Yeah.
That's badass,
Sounds
man.
about right.
And I liked Whooper. You
It's-
know,
honestly,
in Gen 2, he was one of the, you pick up Whooper, water and ground type. That's a rarity. And
Wow, you
he
sound
can do
like
a lot
Nand
of
right
stuff.
now.
Yeah, I'm a bit. He thinks like me. He thinks like me. For me, it was seismotode. Seismotode was
yeah,
water
yeah,
and
yeah.
ground, so it's just like you
know
can't
what's
fuck
up.
me
You know
up.
what's
yeah.
up. No fucking electricity can fuck with you.
Yep.
You know what it is.
Did you
Ice
ever-
would fuck you up though.
Oh yeah.
Grass would
you're
fuck you
done.
up.
Ice
Both.
punch would take
Done.
me out. I'm done.
Did you ever think about changing your name to a more techno sounding name?
Yes.
What are some
Like
ideas?
what?
Oh, I never actually
Nothing-
committed that.
no-
I just
nothing-
it was the idea floated. I was like,
Okay.
maybe I should rebrand appropriately
Okay.
to a new thing.
What does your name sound like now then? If it doesn't sound techno,
I mean, I don't know. Like Luca Lush just sounds.
'Cause
just
whenever
like
I think
Luca
about-
Von
adopted
Lush.
more. Luca Von Lush.
Luca
Oh,
Von
yeah.
Lush. That would be funny.
Because every time I think about Luca Lush, I always think back to SoundCloud days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's been acquiring. That's like kind of like what I'm saying about the tattoos is like it will acquire more meaning as time goes on. And now, like almost 3 years into doing like harder techno stuff, people do associate me with that scene now.
Immediately.
Yeah.
You know,
as
so
they
it-
should.
You know,
Yeah.
but like obviously, if you like know the
Yeah.
early stuff, like that's cool.
Because I'm
too.
used to like the
Yeah.
early stuff.
Yeah.
But then when you came up with hard techno, I was like, fuck yeah, because I've been obsessed with hard techno.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just like, fuck yeah,
I've
dude.
also
Yeah,
been
it's
getting
super fun.
into it.
Yeah.
I have more fun performing live now than I did back then. I think. It's all
good.
like the very early stuff. I was having a blast.
It's more
And then it
high
got-
energy.
Yeah, and it feels more authentic to me.
Yeah.
Like from a sense of like what I'm trying to put out there and like push culturally.
Yeah.
So I'm just having more fun doing it.
Nice.
Yeah. Or you're just like slightly edging your audience a little more to hard style so that you can actually
people
play
say
it and
that
be
too.
accepted.
Yeah,
you know?
people say that as well.
It'd be so funny if like you build up, gonna sound like it's gonna be a hard techno drop, but then it's like up tempo and raw style, just to like fuck with them.
Yeah, I mean, I have some collabs with Water Spirit, so yeah.
Okay.
we just
Okay.
had a back-to-back at the Def show for South by Southwest. That was super
Sick.
fun.
Oh,
Nice.
sick.
Check them out. I love them.
I just wrote it down. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, just talking about the SoundCloud era a little bit, because obviously that was a era that you were very present in. I just wanted to kind of get your thoughts on like what the differences are between that and that era in terms of like music discovery and then music discovery now with like Spotify being a thing.
I
Like
like that
what are
question.
some of the
And
key
TikTok,
differences
yeah.
between those two?
I would say the sense of community is like gone.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
It's totally. That's the
Hell
biggest
yeah.
difference. Now we
Yeah.
have these large corporations that are statistically analyzing how
Yeah.
long
Yeah.
you listen to a certain thing and then pushing those sort of things. And like back to what we were talking about, the memes and things like that. It's the same idea. Before you could pop off if you had a strong community of like-minded musicians on SoundCloud and you were all willing to repost each other's stuff and push
Yeah.
each other.
That's how
That's
I found
true.
most of my songs. In fact, I'm pretty sure I found most of the artists that I like listened to during that time off of
Other
reposts
people.
from
Yeah.
artists,
Yeah.
including you. I think actually,
Because
I think
it
I got a
also
couple
has that
from you.
section is like, oh, this artist also likes this artist.
Yep.
So it's just like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
if
Yep.
I like this one, then I think I'll like that one.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that doesn't exist as much in the algorithmic
Damn.
age. I mean, there is still collectives of people, and like
Yeah.
I still, will shout out people, and I support other artists that are doing similar stuff to me or stuff that I appreciate.
Right.
Don't get me wrong on that, but I think that sense of community is the biggest loss to me. And,
Yeah.
But in a weird way, I do see SoundCloud becoming more relevant again because of
I think
TikTok.
so too. Yeah.
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 I think it will have a resurgence at some point. I don't know when, but I think as we get further and further away from that time, like people start to feel more and more that loss or that lack of community, and so I think there will eventually be a want for that community again.
Yeah.
So I really hope that SoundCloud does get another resurgence.
I think it's also kind of like where the Spotify thing, you want to release something on Spotify, be a legitimate artist or whatever. Like there needs to be no copyright material in there. There needs to be like there's a lot of things that you would otherwise put in music just because you're making music that you can't put on Spotify.
Although to be honest, I see bootleg remixes on Spotify.
My
every
SpongeBob
day now.
thing is on Spotify.
But how do they do that? Because
So-
usually when you do like official remixes or bootleg, don't you have to like pay the original?
You can do cover license. That
Okay.
usually is enough to get it by. But it's such a legal gray area right now because technically it should be in the same arrangement as the original song to qualify as a cover. And a lot of the ones I hear on there definitely aren't in the same arrangement.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know. It's one of those things that's up in the air right now, but I do see a ton of people doing it. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I liked about SoundCloud. You could just find like the weirdest shit on there. But
Yeah,
it sounds
exactly.
so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, and also like just because I know that you used to make a lot of your remixes
And mashups.
from like popular songs, like especially in like the hip hop space or whatever. You have Panda, you have Sicko Mode. I know you've done some like Dylan Francis remixes, and so I mean, I'm sure it was a lot easier to do that like on SoundCloud than it would be on Spotify today. But I also just really appreciate that you did that because I feel like that is such a good way to get people to enter the EDM space because sometimes
like a gateway,
people you're like a gateway, exactly. Like people who listen, you know, who like Panda was like their favorite song back then, like they're like, oh, like searching Panda up on Google one day and then your remix pops up.
It actually blew up again on TikTok, and but
I
I wasn't
think I
credited.
remember
I
that.
wasn't credited anywhere. Like, and I didn't know until like several months later.
By then, the trend was done.
Yeah, I didn't even. Well, I wasn't even on TikTok at the time, which was kind of. But like, I was like, damn. But also, it was like an older track. I wasn't doing that.
In a way,
anymore,
like at
so
least
whatever.
like it still got out there.
Yeah,
But
I
did you
actually
want to
don't
be
have any
credited?
royalties on that track,
Ooh.
so
Yeah.
it got signed by after the fact because the people who were making the Baywatch movie wanted specifically my remix,
Nice.
and they threw $40,000 at me, and then guess what? I didn't see any of that
Naturally.
money.
Hey, yo.
The label was
Hey,
like,
yo.
Luca ain't getting nothing. We're going to take the whole thing. And then
fuck?
my
They could do
team-
that?
So the label
Yeah.
took the whole thing?
No, wait. So my team came back and said, yo, well, technically you can't because the instrumental is all Luca's work. Like if you take the
Yeah.
instrumental out, that's all original material. So all you have is the acapella. You can take the acapella there,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And so they were arguing, you know, this is a major label, so they didn't give a shit about me. You know, they're just trying to, and I don't think even, you know, designer would probably only get 15% of that money anyway.
But at least he's still
Yeah.
getting
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
But you,
So they cut me a deal under the table to pay me a much smaller amount of money under the table that they could license it from me. And then they still played Universal. I think it was like the $40,000+ to license that for Baywatch. And then my mom was really happy because she saw my song in the Baywatch movie. So I guess
And that's worth way more than 40,000.
But
as long as mom's happy.
Seeing your mom happy.
now it bites me in the ass because
Why?
it's in all the Spotify playlists still, like all the, you know, major label pushed
And you're
artist
not
and
getting
tour
it.
stuff.
And you don't get it done.
Yeah, it has like millions and millions of fucking plays, but like I'm like making techno now, and that's still the top fucking song, so that hurts. But
Music is so much fun.
it's so fun. It's so fun.
We
Some things
love
like
it
that.
We take the
here.
most L's,
Most
man.
L's, man. Like, anyway, but it was a really cool opportunity, and if anyone here like from that, you know, that signed that, thank you. That was really cool. That was I was like 22 or
So
23
So this is a
years old at the
PSA.
time.
That shit was made by Luca Lush.
Yeah.
There you go.
Heard that.
Also,
honestly.
Devin, you said something earlier about the gateway, kind of like remixing those classic hip hop songs
Yeah.
into like the EDM space. I was at Weethin Beyond One.
That's
Weethin was so
another
good.
artist.
Fucking love
He
that.
dropped a Fiend flip, like Fiend from Travis Scott, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I just saw everybody go running into the stage.
Oh yeah.
Like, and so I just got that thing you just said. I got to witness it IRL, which is like everybody running into that
Dude,
tent simply because he was playing a Fiend.
Yeah,
flip.
I feel
yeah.
like that's such an underrated thing, dude. When Louis the Child came out with the remix of Blase,
Yeah.
everyone going crazy.
Yeah.
I remember Coachella seeing them,
Yeah.
and everyone's going absolutely nuts over that remix. You
Yeah.
know, like
It's cool to see.
Yeah, it's something I think more artists should honestly do.
I guess in a way too, it's easier to bring like new generation of ravers into the EDM space because you have them. It's easier to get them into it with something they recognize already.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think it's also like in America we don't have these long-standing institutions that exist in Europe of like club culture,
Yeah.
where there's like these established parties,
And they
that you
basically
can go
grew
to.
up in it.
Yeah, and so like here, you know, you grow up. Most people grow up in the suburbs, right?
Yeah.
And so your exposure to music is usually like through the radio, so you hear all these pop hits and stuff that's pushed. So then, as you get older, and you know, exactly as you guys are saying, like getting into rave culture, a lot of times it is because people hear like a remix of something, and they're like, "Oh, well, wait, there's like a whole subgenre of like music that sounds just like this," and then they get into it.
And then you fall into the rabbit hole.
Yeah, exactly.
And then your life is never the same. And then you
now
spend
we're
thousands
here.
of dollars going to festivals, then you can never get back. And then
But you
that's
love
your
it.
life.
Or you
It's-
become a DJ, which is arguably worse. Like,
You bring a USB stick everywhere you go, just by that off chance.
one day.
I'm gonna get my chance.
It's coming.
Where's your
Thank
flash
you.
drive?
It's coming.
Oh, what?
Oh, he's got his.
Yeah, I'm ready.
So,
I'm ready to go.
He's got his.
I don't have mine on my ear.
Put me on, coach. I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know if
let's
you
go.
guys saw, but he's
do
yeah,
have the,
Luca's prepared.
The USB.
We should.
He
Yeah,
is.
that's really
If we're
all
talking
times.
about that, I'm down to hear one right now.
Oh,
Yeah, let's-
Oh
Listen to
yeah.
some music.
Yeah. Let's actually listen to an unreleased.
Taking it off his ear real
Do
fast.
you make music?
Yeah, it might be easier to just plug in. My phone
I think it
on my
probably
SoundCloud.
will be. Yeah.
I'll put that back on.
I don't know if we can plug the dongle into
No, I
the
don't think that'll
USB. That would be cool though.
Man walks up trying to like, where's the aux cord?
Oh
Play
yeah.
this,
Yeah. So
Hell
give us a
yeah,
little
bro.
context as to what this
well,
is.
I'm gonna
And-
slide in a bit because they are techno songs, so they're longer.
Okay.
These are like the extended
Yeah,
boys.
no worries.
But I just have a lot of. So like during this winter, I was like, okay, we gotta like look a little more legitimate.
Yeah.
And put
serious.
together.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was like, let me write a ton of music to then shop out to all of these like boutique European labels to
Okay.
get the credibility that is necessary in the techno scene instead of just being seen as like,
Got it.
you know, somebody that was doing like popular music
Right.
Yeah.
and stuff. Because like
okay.
that's what I want, you know, what we were talking about.
Yeah,
before.
yeah,
Like that's the
100%.
root of it.
Need to be more serious.
Yeah, so yeah, just made it. A lot of these things are coming out on a variety of different labels.
Okay.
In Europe and South America.
Oh.
And then some like also some American stuff like a Gestures group chat label.
Yeah.
You guys know him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
we just
then-
had him on the podcast.
Oh,
Actually,
hell
his
yeah.
episode comes out today.
Oh fuck yeah. That's my boy. I'm playing him with them like next week. In
Oh,
San
sick.
Diego.
Nice.
Nice.
So and I've played his party before. Yeah, he's in my group chat. The actual.
Ah,
group chat.
nice.
Oh wait, no, he took a brief leave of absence.
Oh.
yeah, because he had to focus. on his stuff.
That's fair.
But
Well,
yeah.
so is this more like traditional techno then?
Yeah, well, it's like traditional hard
Traditional
techno, I guess.
Hell yeah.
Like this one is like more transy,
Okay.
transy. I can't say it right. That's like what in the States like drac, triptych,
Got it.
pushing, and then
Okay.
over on the European side, I would say like Klangquester is like the revival.
Yeah,
of that
Klangquester. Yeah, it's really good.
There's a lot of other.
I love how they're
people doing
talking.
cool
We're just like,
stuff. Oh yeah, I've like heard it a million times already. Oh no.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's it. We're done.
yeah. Yeah, you're gonna have to strap in. Nan is not the biggest techno person, but he's gonna try.
I appreciate it.
It's this easy, Nand.
It's not that I don't like techno. It's just I don't like it for longer than a certain amount of time.
And it does go on for a long time, like the sets are
And it
2 hours long.
You can turn it up all the way on your phone, by the way, too.
I'm raving like it's 1999. Dancing in a warehouse, leave my mind behind.
I'm raving like it's 1999. Dancing in a warehouse, leave my mind behind.
Love that.
Is it a metronome?
Okay, I fuck with that.
Oh my god. See, there's a lot of variety in this, you know.
Yeah,
so.
well, like, yeah, but it's still like traditional, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I'll play another one.
Mind behind.
Wow. Yeah. No. Whatever you want.
Yeah.
What's What's that one called?
What was that?
That one's Rave like 1999.
I like
I
the
should have probably
little-
guessed that.
before the
See,
drop.
I like that too.
Yeah, before the
My
drop.
man
that
knows.
Yeah, that was
It's the default metronome
literally the
sound in
default
FL.
metronome.
Yeah.
I was
It's just
sick.
like,
I was
I don't know,
like-
I like putting dumb sounds.
No, that was
sometimes.
sick as
That was
fuck.
great,
I
and that's
love
like your
that.
personality. You
Yeah.
know, like is doing that.
an
Is
excellent
fucking
touch.
around. You
So it's also very heavy.
What's this one called?
Fuck it up right now.
Love these titles.
Yeah. They're very to the point.
I like that.
This has the Harry Potter
Harry
sounds
Potter.
as well.
Harry
yeah.
Potter.
I like the extra kicks a lot.
They're big kicks. I feel like that's like half the track is just like the kick.
Yeah.
You know? So
Okay.
Oh.
Everybody in the club, fuck it up right now.
Yep.
so I'm trying to do a lot less. Make it work, you know?
No, dude, this is sick.
Skip out. Okay. That's just like, it's a break.
Yeah.
You keep playing.
Okay.
But the second drop is kind of crazy. I don't want to show you.
Okay, sick. I'm excited.
Oh my god. Okay, I like this drop better.
My God.
It's huge. It's just huge.
Yeah, very, very heavy.
My God.
Hard techno, Nand.
If you could turn Earthquake into an EDM song, that's what this would be.
It also.
Okay,
That's why I had to put like one off. I said
I need
if you could turn if you had to make Earthquake into an EDM song, that's what it would
Oh,
be.
thank
Yo,
you.
okay, you know what I've noticed? How come in techno there's only like 3 dance moves?
Oh, this.
You got like this, you got this, or you got like
You can
this.
do. I think that's just like what people normally do, but
Yeah,
like you can do
but
anything
then
you
then
want.
like
you know?
here, but like
Yeah.
here we have like headbanging, we have shuffling, we have muzzing
I
and
think
stuff.
Could you
also-
imagine trying to
Yeah.
headbang to
Right?
that?
You could muzz to that, but
That'd be
you couldn't.
so
yeah,
painful.
No,
it's
I've
not
seen-
gonna-
I've seen
not
people
gonna
muzz to
fly at
techno,
150
yeah. It's
gonna
plus
hurt.
BPM.
But
Yeah.
you can't keep up with that.
The thing that I noticed, well, I didn't notice, but a thing that popped into my head with like the difference between what techno is or how it feels like and how house feels like. House
Yeah.
is like emphasizing that upbeat, that bouncy
Yeah.
flavor.
Yeah.
Techno is
It's
just trying
It's
to
just a
smack
downbeat. Yeah.
those
Smack
4
the-
beats
Yeah.
as hard as
A
possible.
lot of techno
Smack your
doesn't even
face.
have like a clap on the upbeat.
Yeah, no.
You know, it's occasionally you will bring in the offbeat like 909
Yeah,
or some
like
sort of shaker.
like
or
Phil
something.
West or
Yeah, but
something.
like
No,
there
my eyes
usually
are tearing
isn't
up.
a clap. Just like,
stomp.
that was the biggest, honestly, like mental thing to overcome when I switched to
Yeah.
making a lot of that
Yeah.
music, because like I was talking to my friends who like spent, I think 2 years in Germany, and he was like, if you want to make this style, you can't put a clap in this fucking shit. And I was like, what?
It's a fill and that's it. You can't
Yeah,
use
it's
it.
only as a film. So,
When is that coming out, sir? I'm
those,
obsessed with it.
I actually those are the unsigned ones. I don't know when those two are coming out. I will play one that has a date coming out.
Well,
Would
here
you-
we'll save some for the
Yeah, we
end
do,
because we're
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
we're
yeah.
gonna listen to some more at the
Okay,
end.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we like to like kind of split it up a
Oh,
little
yeah.
bit.
Would
but-
you ever move to Europe
Yes.
just for the environment?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, just yes.
For the environment to like for your music.
Yes, absolutely. I've been,
Would you?
well, I wanted, so I have like a few dates out in Germany in June. through an agency that picked me up. FH agency. They do like H Dude, who is also really cool, which I think a lot of Americans would like.
Wait, is that?
We thought it was Hi Dude.
I thought it was
Okay,
Hi Dude
I-
for the longest time.
I don't know.
Because it has a hi and then an exclamation.
Yeah.
I thought it was H.
We just
Dude.
listened to some of his. We just did
I showed them music from Hi Dude.
Yeah, and then he
yeah.
followed us because of that, because we made a
They're
clip
sick.
out of it, and then
They called their music what was it?
Techno Step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said to say hi.
Oh, I love
to
it.
you.
No. I mean, like it was funny when I started doing a lot of the dubstep techno kind of fusion stuff, which
Yeah.
was originally just to transition my audience to like what I was doing. So I was like, let me do stuff that's familiar to them, but with the new hard techno stuff.
Nice.
And then a bunch of people in the comments, like when the first one of those blew up, they were like, yo, H Dude, you should check out H Dude. I'd never heard of them. And then I went out and checked out the music. I was like, those
They're
fucking
so
sick.
Yeah.
Like, and then- so I play a lot of their music in
Yeah.
my sets as well. And now
Hell
we're
yeah.
on the same German agent. So
Nice.
That's sick.
back to what you were saying though, I would like to just check it out and see if
Yeah.
I
Just look at
like
the-
it out there, you know, like I don't want to like move without knowing, but like I grew up in New York and then I moved out here to LA when EDM, this was the epicenter. I guess it still is for, or some people would say Denver, here in Denver.
Yeah.
But yeah, I moved out here because I wanted to be at the center of everything that was popping off at the time, like with SoundCloud.
Yeah, as you should. When was that?
That was 2014, end of 2014.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And you're how old now?
Too old.
Very nice.
I mean,
Too old.
same.
I'm 31.
Bro, I'm about to be 30, bro.
That's not
Nan's about to be
old.
30.
I'm a
We're-
dinosaur in DJ years, basically.
You have been around for a while.
Don't say that, because then you're gonna make us think the same thing.
Oh, no.
I feel like the biggest DJs are in their 30s anyway.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's also like I have a warped perspective because I started when I was really young.
Yeah.
Like I was 21 when I started
I think
touring.
a lot of
so-
DJs like started building themselves up in their 20s, and then 30s like when they really like fucking take off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, like
You
these
will,
days-
yeah. I mean,
You're never too old.
I was so stoked to see that he was here because I was like, oh,
You
I watch
got
this
this,
stuff all the
Grayson.
time.
I believe in you.
Yeah. I just want to drop the
you got a
weirdest
lot of
shit
time, bro.
possible.
No, I genuinely like your actual music, but I heard
thank you.
it through the meme stuff. You know,
Yeah.
like same thing. Like I
Yeah.
only got acquainted because I saw like some funny
weird.
videos. I was like, I'll check out his
See that,
music.
guys? We got to dance like monkeys for you
Yeah.
to listen to the
That's
stuff.
that's honestly.
Just put me on your refrigerator. Put like a little note that says "Listen to GZoom."
I think there's still two ways. Like if you're a DJ, you still do a lot of digging yourself. Like I find a lot of music through SoundCloud related tracks, through 1001 track lists, through YouTube. The real fucking hero is the guy in the YouTube comments with the full track list.
Literally.
True.
That's the fucking hero.
True.
or like
Dude.
Reddit, people just talking about like this
You
artist.
deserve everything
that
and
kind of
more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, music recommendation is like, so it's something that I feel like is hard to come by more and more these days.
Yeah.
So
Apparently, music recommendation and curation, that's a whole like major job. Like you can't just be, oh yeah, I could do this. No, there's like a whole training process in school and everything. I'm like, whoa.
Well, I've thought a lot about this because that's kind of what I do. Is I put good music in front of people, or I put weird music in front of people and get them to listen to it. But like the idea that a label used to have that authority, right? You would send it to a label.
Yeah.
The label had the authority. You guys are going to listen to this because we are a label, and obviously we're tastemaking and stuff like that.
Right.
But now it's like since social media has been invented and has been proliferated everywhere, everybody has that own decision. They have that decision to make for themselves.
That's why I fucking
and so they
love sharing
go to
music.
people like curators because they're like, oh, what do I do?
Yeah.
Like,
and that a lot of times you will just want that. They just want to be told, hey, check out this
here.
music. Listen to
and I
this.
mean, not everybody has time to listen to a bunch of music
Exactly.
all day. I do. So like, obviously you're going to go to somebody that does that and has the ability to make those choices.
There's also the whole like I don't know if it's a problem, but like the necessity of background music. Like there's a time when like I'll just fucking go on YouTube and say, you know, jazz beats to chill to.
Yeah,
I love
because I'm
lo-fi.
cleaning my house
Or
and
like
I don't have time to
lo-fi.
think, you know, like so there is a
Yeah.
purpose for music you're not listening to
Yep.
almost. But for the stuff that we do, that's like almost the opposite.
Yeah.
to like command your attention.
Yes, exactly.
You were talking about how like you obviously wanted to do DJ first, and then content creating picked up. So and then you are like known for your TikToks, because I've seen like the whole meme stuff and your visuals in the back of your TikToks.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, it is like so fucking sick. So do you think that like nowadays when it comes to social media, DJs have to create their own personality on social media first and then they're going to be known for their music, or is it the other way around?
I think you still have to have good music.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's no.
Need a
Why
good
would I
product.
come see you? But also, there's that. I forget her name, but she's a DJ who deliberately DJs really badly.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I honestly
Maddie,
think that's
Maddie, DJ
yeah,
Maddie.
I think that's really fucking cool.
Yeah, it's
Because
so
it's so subversive.
She's
you
You
know?
so
also got to be
smart.
really talented to be able to like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to do
so,
it
like,
really wrong.
yeah.
You know?
But like
So-
it still sounds good with how wrong it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
I
if you
think
guys
it's
don't
great.
know who DJ Maddie is, she purposely DJs. Her transitions are so bad, but she's like known for that. But she's actually a really good DJ.
Yeah, it's like breaking the rules in all the right
Yeah,
ways.
but it's just so funny.
You know,
I'll have to listen to that.
Because like someone that popped off again that was also back in SoundCloud Day was Crank That.
yeah,
And,
I'm so proud of it. Like, we were again during the pandemic era. Like, I reconnected with a lot of friends,
Yeah.
and like I was in a Discord with him where we were all learning Blender, like
Yeah.
3D modeling and animation. And if you check out a lot of his art, he does like all of his own 3D art and
Oh, wait,
stuff.
that's
And I
actually
was,
really
I was
sick.
like watching him get fucking cracked at it,
Yeah.
in real time. There's a bunch of other producers in there. We were all just like, oh, we have all this time on our hands, and like we have gaming computers. Let's learn Blender.
Yeah, it's like why not?
I just feel like he had like a whole new second push after like, becoming, a social media type stuff. And that's what I've noticed. Like that's how DJs nowadays are pushing out their music.
Here's the way that I look at it is that these days, kind of like always, your visuals were a big part of your art in general, your music. Like what people see is a big part of that, your visuals on stage or just like the album cover and stuff like that. Now the access to artists has increased like tenfold via social media and stuff like that. And people are honestly like spoiled in this day and age where they have access to those people. They can reach out to those people, interact with them and such. So like the social media is just kind of a part of your project now. It just is.
It really is.
It could be
at
lacking.
this
Like
point.
your music could be not that good, but your social media is popping off, and you might be more successful than somebody with great music. But like, it is part of it now.
Yeah, and that's actually it goes down even to like your look too. Because I was gonna comment on like, dude, your stash and like the
mustache.
piercings and like the USB earring, all that is like a part of your look.
Totally.
And it is one thing that I feel like is just an extra edge that makes you stand out. I know when we were discussing before, like Lady Gaga is showing up with a meat dress to
Lady Gaga is so fucking cool.
Yeah, and like stuff like
that.
that. You remember those things, and so like at least when I see you now, or whenever I hear your music being played somewhere, I think of this
Your
look that
face.
you have
Thank you.
right
Thank
here.
you.
Yeah. So I just think that's really funny. Also, I wanted to comment with an analogy on the just be like still having good music. Like you have to have good music still. You could have everything else, all the social media, the look, all that aspect, but at the end of the day, you still do have to have good music. It's like having a clean room and you bring a person over to your place. Like you want to be able to show them your room and it's clean, right? And but you can get them to your house.
I love this analogy. The more it goes on,
you can get them to your house, but like if you don't have a clean room, they're not gonna maybe
this
like
guy's a slob,
coming
bro.
over to your house.
He's
Exactly.
really nice, but he didn't know how to keep it
Exactly right. So I mean,
Do you remember that show Room Raiders on MTV when we were younger?
I do,
Oh my
yeah.
god, yeah, that scarred me. I was like, I'm never having a messy room if I'm bringing anybody over.
What do they just come in and
They
just,
come in and they just look at your
Judge
room
you.
and
They
they
just look
judge.
at your room.
They go on a date with
and
you
they
based on
find
your room.
all your stuff.
Yeah.
They find all your deepest, darkest,
course.
secret
Yeah.
stuff.
I was
it's like
oh
you didn't
my
put that
God.
away when the TV show was coming?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't know.
well,
You hide your
half the
deep-
time they don't know. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Oh,
It's
that's
like,
great.
yeah, so they
What
just
it
got
is
their
like.
dildo out on
It's
the
like
bed.
an intervention,
It's
but
like-
just for your room.
I mean, I'm pretty sure other people applied it for them.
Yeah,
they
they
don't
just
know.
want-
They don't see it coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that just made me think of a skit that one of my favorite YouTubers, Jimmy Tatro, did. They did a spoof of Room Raiders, and it was like they just found a bunch of dildos everywhere,
God.
like all over the bed. And he's like, "Wait, I thought you guys were coming like two days from now." He's like, I didn't clean my room yet, and then there's like a dead body in the closet.
There's old Childish Gambino content, like really old stuff. The old YouTube. I think there was a skit about that too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
find the
Yeah,
big black
yeah.
dildo in the guy's bag.
Yeah.
that was a good
Childish
one.
is a legend, by the way.
Yeah, it's so funny that pivot. He went from content to pure music. And,
Oh, yeah.
And now he's just
so-
acting.
And
now he's just
acting, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that just goes to show you if it's good.
He's a Renaissance man.
Yeah.
True Renaissance
I
man.
feel
yeah.
like
Who,
now you
Childish
have to
Gambino?
you have to have like 3 things you're good at now.
Yeah. Well, also I will say the nice thing is it has gotten easier to do all these things.
Yep.
And so that kind of like when I first had to transition to doing a lot more social media stuff and content stuff, I fucking hate it. Like I don't.
Yeah, I've noticed that there are a lot of DJs who are like, "Fuck, I hate doing content. It's so much work."
Everybody
I just
does
wanna,
it first.
Yeah, just like I just want to
Everybody
focus
does.
on the music and my craft, but now I have to be a social media person. Like, fuck.
But that's because it's easier. Like I can like give you a crack copy of Ableton. I would never do that, but you could, and I can show you how to make music like today, and you could put out like a decent track today if you had a good teacher like telling you what to do. Same thing with DJing, right? And so you do have to have a bit more of a wider skill set to stand out now.
Yeah.
Yep. It's also to anybody watching this that has that opinion, because a lot of people do this whole, I have to make content now, it's such a job or whatever. Like the day that changed my whole trajectory, I was so pissed that I had to post something. But I told myself, I saw this like YouTube short or whatever. It said like, try anything consistently for 6 months and it'll change your life. You know, one of those self-help things. I was like,
I love those.
I was so spiteful. I was like, yeah, for sure. Let me just try for 6 months in my life.
Look at
blah,
you
blah, 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 blah.
now.
But then that day I was like, look, doesn't matter how pissed I am. I just have to do this stupid video and post it. And I made the first people that listen to everything that day. And the next day I woke up to 800K on TikTok.
Yeah.
And then from that day, I just, I went to Beyond the next weekend. Somebody came up to me. I had like 6,000 TikTok followers at that time. And they were like, are you the guy that made that video? I was like, I'm sorry, what? Some guy wanted to take a photo with me. The first time I was like, I'm sorry, what? And then I realized that like there are people that actually watch those videos. And I used that momentum to just post something every day. It's like better to post something bad than nothing at all.
That's right.
That's so funny because the first video I ever saw of yours was the line one. The like
moving
train.
through the crowd.
Yeah, the moving through the
Rave
crowd.
etiquette one.
What made you make that one though? Because
had to be in real life
that was
inspo.
before you made the
that was before. Yeah, so I kind of realized that when I was, because every producer is making content because they know that they have to. At some point, they might try a little bit. Me, like most producers, I was making producer content. Like I was trying like controversial production techniques, like plugging the mic directly into the interface with no cable, like stuff like that, like niche humor that only some people would find funny.
I'm the only one laughing.
So like at some point when I realized, I was actually looking at people like you, Devin and Nand and Bryn. I was looking at you guys as an example for like, oh wait, there are people making rave content. Maybe I'm supposed to be like involved in this scene more, like because I'm from Maine. I didn't have a rave scene where I'm from, so I wanted to get more into it. So I had been to a few raves by this time. Are you sure that video was before?
I don't know. I just remember the first time we met in person was Countdown 20. It was 2021 going into 2022.
Yeah, I remember
that was
too.
the first time we met.
Well, I started making rave content after I realized that I was not supposed to be making content for the people that do the same thing as me, but
You're
rather
supposed to do your audience.
the people that I
will
want
listen
to
to your
see
music.
my stuff, like the people that I want to listen to. And also like that doubles as a way to just engage with the community, which I've loved because I've got so many cool skills like shuffling and fucking flowing with the I love being a wizard. But anyway, I think that was like the idea that just I was looking at people that were doing something, speaking to the right people, I guess, instead of the people that were just like me. You know, because music forms a connection between those people. It's not just necessarily like the same kind of person.
It's always producing for other DJs is a trap.
Yes. Well, that's I learned that so fast because I probably tried way less, but I wanted to. When I was looking at all the genres, I was like, okay, what genre do I want to hop in? What arena do I want to play in?
Yeah.
And I thought, techno for sure. Techno. And then it was like, this isn't techno. You're not techno. Shut up, man. You're not techno.
That's the thing. I still get those comments, even as I'm starting to release on proper techno labels, get signed by a proper techno agent, et cetera. Like that's just part of the culture.
I think maybe because you're American. I'm sorry.
That's also a big part of it.
That's
also
a big part of it. Yeah.
Well, you command a lot of my respect for that reason because I've faced that same wall. I know the wall that you're bashing your head against.
Oh yeah, it's definitely very difficult, but once you start connecting with actually, like you said, when you connect with other people in the scene, that kind of disappears because those people see what you're doing and are like
validates.
Yeah, you respect. There's a mutual respect. So.
And my real big thing was that I can't make techno all the time because I might go to a festival and end up at a psytrance set at 4 a.m. and like, this is really fun. So I want to make it, especially since it's so easy.
Right? Like,
it's
I mean,
so
like,
easy.
that's why I ghost. Well, because of the money, but
Right.
also
That's
because it's like, it's refreshing
Yeah.
to write stuff that's not in the genre
Yeah.
that I actively promote.
It feels
for my
more
brand.
human.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I like the process of like getting somebody's idea to life. You know,
Yeah.
it's actually
You're almost like a
really fun.
director.
Yeah,
in a way.
yeah, really
It's like the traditional sense of a producer.
exactly. Yeah,
Like
that.
DJ Khaled.
Another one.
Dang, I thought he would go for that.
Yeah, no, I was not falling for that trap. I was on my nah.
Yeah, no, but for real, it's commendable for real.
Yeah.
And also I didn't say this because I was in shock, but those beats that you played earlier were gnarly.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yeah,
Those were
dude.
gnarly, man.
Appreciate it.
But going back to like, you know, the whole brand thing and like you having to make your face memorable because everyone knows you because of your bucket hat or hat.
Yeah.
I don't know what
And
you
the
call
teeth.
It is-
Some guy came
and
up
the
to me
teeth.
last weekend and was like, "Can you smile it for me?" And I was like,
Damn.
Yeah. And then you with like your look.
Yeah.
And then there's Valentino Khan with his mustache.
"Oh, legend."
Who else is there?
When I first grew it, I went to one afters and about 6 people consecutively were like, Valentino? Tino? And I was like,
No
maybe I
way.
should shave this. And then like he shaved it and then I was good.
Fair.
now
He
it's
folded
back.
first.
Now it's
Now
yours.
it's back. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's not. I've chatted with him a few times
Yeah,
since he
yeah.
started doing his techno power line party.
And we're
and
talking
stuff.
about mustaches.
Yeah.
Dom Doll is in the running too.
Oh,
Yeah.
he does. He
Dom
does.
Doll
Right.
too.
There's- look,
Yeah.
nobody has a copyright on the mustache,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying.
It's just
a good
And
style.
Tito has a fantastic facial
look.
hair.
But if you
look
had to
him,
rate
yeah.
them though, like
Rate the
them,
mustaches.
rank them, yeah. Please let us know
Oh my
who
God.
has the
Who
best
has the
stash.
best one?
Yeah,
I want to know.
I actually did a video on that, like
best
the best DJ mustache competition.
DJ
Yeah.
That's
Susan
funny.
also has
Yeah.
a fantastic
DJ
stash going.
Susan.
Yeah,
I know that name.
yeah, great name.
What made
I've
you
not
choose
seen it.
this specific look though?
That's
an odd
good
question.
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of did it.
Did it.
Yeah, with a lot of my fashion choices and stuff, it's just
Yeah.
kind of like it feels correct and
Yeah.
kind of do it. Yeah.
Good.
Do you finally feel like yourself?
A bit more, I think so. Yeah.
Does
I mean,
anybody
like,
ever feel like themselves?
True.
I guess that's a good question.
We don't need to get that.
I feel
deep.
more authentic now to what I'm trying to do, and I'm
Yeah.
definitely like happier with
good.
the way I present and the way that.
Yeah.
I mean, like I don't love having to do fucking meme shit all the goddamn time, but
Yeah.
like I'm glad that it is getting more attention to the actual work that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, that's interesting you say it like that too, because like you say you're becoming more yourself with the music that you're putting out and the art
Yeah.
that you're producing. I'm sure though, when you started producing, that was still authentic, right? Like,
Oh yeah. It just at a certain point,
just
That
got
was who
bored.
you were back then.
it got boring and it got inauthentic because I had so many people who were
Telling you to do it.
Yeah, who were rightfully so,
Yeah.
making money off the project that I was doing, that were encouraging me to keep doing things that were proven to work.
Yeah, okay.
And not take a creative risk or a business risk
Interesting, yeah.
with possibly a higher payout and possibly a higher ceiling for whatever it is creatively that I would be doing.
Yeah.
So that was frustrating to me, and I've got a little oppositional defiant disorder in me, so I was like, fuck this.
Don't we all?
I feel
Fuck the
that.
system.
I relate
don't
to
do
that.
Yeah, little rebellious streak.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, at the time, like when I started, I would say like my early SoundCloud stuff and stuff, like that was so fun. I was
Yeah.
having a great fucking
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
doing that. You know, like not shitting on my old work. A period of time, I would say from 2019 to pandemic, I was so burnt out. I was done.
Yeah.
Like.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
No, I
everybody
mean,
hits
it's-
that burnout
Yeah,
phase, bro.
Yeah.
I'm glad that well, I'm not glad people died, but I'm glad that I got a break. Yeah, I'm glad that I got a break
Sometimes
for
you
a
gotta
bit
switch
to
it up.
reconsider.
Yep.
Yeah. You have to switch it up sometimes.
Yeah.
Well,
And
it
a
was-
lot of DJs I talked to had the same, not, again, they weren't like, hooray, death. But they were like,
They're like, hooray, I don't have to like work so much.
yeah, thank God I have a fucking month off. That's what
Yeah.
everyone thought,
Oh,
So-
it's 3 months.
I had
Wait,
6
Oh,
months.
no.
to a
Yeah,
year.
and then it was like, okay, fuck this. Like I
Whole
need to.
fucking year.
Yeah, it was
Mine
too
was
much.
just a giant overcorrection from going to making music all the time, all day, to being like, oh, well, no one's listening to it. I got to make content. And then
Yeah.
I just started making content all day. And then I kind of lost the touch a little bit on
Yeah.
production. So now it's like a big old swing bridging back, trying to marry the two.
Yeah.
And that's the struggle I'm dealing with now.
I think you're doing a good job.
Oh, thank you.
I also think
Thank
you're
you.
doing a good job.
Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. Your
Sometimes
kind
just need
words.
somebody else to tell you.
This
Be
is
like,
just
"Yeah,
whole
man, you're good."
podcast is just gassing me up.
Yeah.
I feel so good right now. Thank you for
I'm
having
just
me.
waiting until we do Wonder Woods.
Oh, Wonder. Everybody you keep putting that in episodes. Guys, I have
What's
this-
Wonder Woods?
Okay, fine.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks, Nand.
So I do skits on the internet. If you know my face, you've probably seen the dumb skits that I do. Anyway, I have this concept for a festival. I'm really into D&D and like high fantasy type stuff. Like I just love like making stuff up. Obviously, my whole brand is space. Anyway, Wander Woods is a concept where there is 4 adventurers in the woods who must save Plur because Plur has died, and they have to fight several enemies and kind of reinstate Plur. The first of which is they end up in the mosh pit, and there are mosh zombies. It just so happens that normal rave items like glasses or like rave actions like headbanging and stuff have like magical powers and things to it. So one of the first episodes, I wrote this whole script, by the way. I have this whole thing. I just haven't shot it because I don't have any friends.
Don't steal the idea, by the way.
Don't steal. Yeah, I mean, you could try. You're not going to do it as well. You could try. But anyway, the headbanging defeats the mosh zombies. And then we go into this like weird ethereal plane where it's basically bass heads versus house heads, or like techno people that hate other genres, people who hate other genres. And then Nand is actually, he was written in the script as the person that saves us from that. He puts on the rave goggles and it allows him to see through the mist. And then he sees that as we're running through it, Nand actually gets bumped and the glasses fall down. And then one of the random house heads who's hating on one of the other guys picks him up and puts him on and sees that the guy he was hating on the whole time is one of his friends.
Wow.
So then he shares the goggles with everybody, and then they all find out that they were all friends to begin with, and they shouldn't be
Just a
fighting.
miss.
And then we should just like
Just a miss
Is
making
this going to be
everybody
a
like
long
fight.
form or a short form?
Yeah.
Or a
the
short form,
idea
kind of like
is
so long.
The idea was
like,
it was basically like a
Choose your own adventure.
It was like 30. It was like 30 episodes. I do that a lot on my website too. With like my songs have choose your own adventure style stuff. But there's it's gonna be like it was supposed to be 30 episodes ish of short form 1 minute videos.
Do you remember the Long Man commercials out of Japan? It's for that candy.
No,
Or
I
you
don't
should
think
check
so.
this out. But
Long
it's like
Man?
long man, and it's like a series
Okay.
where it's almost like a little drama where this guy has his girlfriend and his girlfriend is interested in the guy who keeps delivering the long man candies because she wants a real long piece of candy. And the innuendos right themselves.
Naturally.
But it was like 20 fucking series. Like
Beautiful.
every commercial advanced the story a bit more.
Wow, it's all canon.
Yeah, it's all canon.
Wow.
But
That's
definitely
amazing.
watch it on YouTube. It's on there. It's hilarious.
I'll totally do that.
I think it's a good inspiration for what you're doing too with this idea. If you wanted to cut it into short form bits.
The short form bits is so it'd be digestible because people don't want to sit there watching me do my bullshit for 35 minutes or whatever. But anyway,
I would. I love my long form content.
I'll give you guys the last little ending, which is like there would be 4 adventurers, and in the first like in each location that we go to, the mosh pit, there's the Oasis, there's Dirty Dog Alley is one of the locations.
Dirty Dog Alley outside of the rave.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of carts. You can take a risk. I take my chances.
I take that
sometimes.
risk.
I
It's
always
so
take
good.
it. It's good.
It's so
It's
good.
always worth it.
high fantasy comparisons to actual rave thing. At the end of it, each area, one of the adventurers kind of like solves the problem. So like Nand solved that problem in the mist, and the idea is that at the end of it, when we go to save Plur, we have to carry the staff from the Wook of the Mountain. The Wook of the Mountain, who has a staff. It tells us to carry it to main stage where we face the other 2 trials on the way there. But when we get there, the gatekeeper, the person that assigned us this is so nerdy. The gatekeeper tells us that the Plur that we saved was with us all along, because this person taught us love in Dirty Dog Alley, and this person taught us peace here, and then responsibility and unity. And like you kind of just get to look back to each of those lessons or conquers of the area, and that we learned Plur along the way and saved Wander
Plur's not
Woods.
dead. It's always been there.
It's always been there.
man.
It's just really hidden. Thank you.
I'm really excited to see its execution.
Well, now it
It's a
needs to
fantastic
happen.
idea.
Now it's out in
I think it was actually
It's out
good.
in the
that- I
open,
think
so
it was
now you
good.
don't have to do it.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's good that you
now
did
it's out in
this.
the open. If you guys want to be in it and help me, that would be awesome.
I mean, you
I'll do
already
a cameo,
know.
man. I'll pop in.
Oh hell yeah! Okay, let's see
absolutely.
how many name drops we can get into.
You already know. I've been wanting this to happen for a while.
Yeah. Sorry.
that was
True
really
art takes time.
I enjoyed
It
that.
does.
Yeah.
It does. Also, like self-confidence is a big thing too. You know, you want to not make sure. You want to make sure, or I guess make sure that you're not wasting your time, because that
Yeah.
would take me forever.
We
I
also
have the
have-
pilot episode.
Yeah,
think I
and we
sent
also
you
have
guys
a
that.
million things that we're doing right now too. I mean, dude, we've been sitting on the Skrillex skit for how
Yeah.
long now? 2 months.
Yeah.
Let's do the
So-
Skrillex skit.
Yeah. What
I'm
is
just like encouraging you guys to
Oh,
like
no.
go on top.
Now, in a nutshell, because we have talked about it before, Nand and I used to have this series when I first started making rave and EDM content called DJ Fans, where we would make fun of DJs' fan bases.
Oh,
so we made a
fantastic.
bunch of
Yeah.
ones for
And
like a
we
lot of the
usually, like,
mainstream
we would
DJs.
act
Like,
out.
Yeah.
Like we would be the fans of
yeah,
that
so,
artist.
so
by
we've done
acting
Dead
them out.
Mouse fans, Rez fans, Porter fans, and like a lot of the big DJs have seen the videos too.
Yeah.
So like Rez and I are cool now because we did the one for Rez and she loved it. Dead Mouse, same thing. He hit us up and was
Zed.
like, "It's funny." Zed, now I'm like, yeah, now
Skrillex is
Zed and I are
gonna hate
cool.
us, man.
Yeah, I know. So basically, I stopped doing it for a while because when I shifted over to short form, I kind of stopped focusing on the long form scripted stuff as much. But
I think it was also because of the podcast.
and the podcast, and
It
we
took
just
up
had a
all our
lot.
time.
We just had a lot
Yeah,
going
this is a
on.
This is
big
technically
operation.
long.
Yeah,
It is.
now.
It is. But Grayson and I have been working on a Skrillex fans one because I want to bring it back. And now that he's kind of been teasing like doing another album with his old stuff, I kind of want to like time it to like
Oh, okay.
Ride
perfectly
the
fit
wave.
Yeah.
with that. But yeah, no, I think it's gonna be really funny. Grayson
I
and
like
got
my
some good-
character personally. I'm a homeless man.
Yeah, in this skit, and
Which
it's
is
Nand and
my
I. It's
favorite.
Nand and I arguing like old versus new Skrillex, basically.
He's a homeless guy, but he's really into old Skrillex.
Oh, and then
No,
no. Grayson is just a homeless guy saying
I'm like rambling.
quotes from Skrillex songs.
Yeah, I'm just rambling like either pre-drop vocals or song names.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
that
He's
are
just kinda
somehow
there.
relevant to the
I've
conversation.
definitely heard that exact thing on a corner right outside.
There we go.
So,
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
Sounds about
exactly.
right.
Exactly.
That was
So-
me
Yeah.
that you heard.
Yeah, I used to live right over there too, so I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking.
I stand outside
Yeah.
your door every day.
I know.
mumbling to myself.
It's refreshing. Man.
People wake up to birds. You wake up to Grayson just
Dude, I
mumbling.
got 2 birds outside my house right now, and they wake up at 1 a.m. And so that's like, it's kind of like my reverse like bedtime call. So
Yeah.
I know to pack it up. Like
Nice.
when they start
These
chirping.
birds
I'm
are
like,
on,
go to
man.
bed,
these
bro.
fucking birds.
Party animal birds.
Telling you to
dude.
go to bed.
Oh
That's
my
nice
god,
of them.
so
Yeah, I know.
disrespectful. Well, while we have a couple minutes left of the segment, I wanted to like shift gears a little bit back to the techno stuff because I wanted to kind of ask about what you feel is the real difference behind, or let everyone else know, I guess, what the real difference behind like this new wave of techno is from
yeah.
like the European, the traditional European
Yeah.
techno. Like, what are some of the differences that you notice? The key differences.
Yeah, I mean, what a lot of people would say what I do is TikTok techno. I will admit that
Yeah.
openly.
Oh, yeah.
Totally understand that, but that's usually just because in a lot of these techno songs, they're still formatted in the traditional way,
Yeah.
where you have these long intros, you have long outros, they're
Right.
made to mix. But the difference is that there will occasionally be a drop, right? And there will be like a moment that is TikTokable or like
Hype.
shareable. Yeah, hype moment.
To make a trend.
Yeah, there'll be like people. A big trend right now is putting in like hard style or raw style kicks for like 4 bars before the drop, or like
Yeah.
an 8-bar fake out, kind of like you have in
Yeah.
dubstep and rhythm.
Yeah.
But like the majority of the track is not that, and when you play it out live, you don't always have to play that section of the
Right.
song because like you want to establish like a groove and a rhythm and
And
like
you
a
build a
hypnotic
journey,
energy.
yeah.
With the live set, so that still differs a lot.
Yeah.
But I think the inclusion of that is somewhat more accessible for a wider audience. And the traditional sort of stuff, which is very, very loopy and pretty much only made for other DJs to play, is a little bit less accessible. I still personally really enjoy that kind of music as well. So I'm not hating on it. And, you know, what I do is still, I would say, like a little bit above the deepest cut of techno that
Yeah.
you
I
can
see.
go.
Yeah.
But I will still play some of those tracks live,
Yeah.
you know, because I want to insert that into the audience and have people be aware of that. The same way I did with my old stuff, and then playing deeper cuts that were like literally, you know, 1,000
Makes
plays
sense.
on SoundCloud, like stuff
Yeah.
I wanted to expose people to. So, but I really enjoy both. And I think, you know, there's like room for both of those things. It hasn't really taken off in America yet. Like I was saying before, there's like the Nullsec label, which is like, you know, Hellbound, you have Revel,
Right.
myself was on there, Synthesizer, Drac, Triptych. Triptych's getting a ton of love from like Klinkwinsler and playing out there. Drac has been playing out in Europe as well. I'm about to be out in Europe. And I think that's like kind of the natural step for a lot of techno
Yeah.
artists in the States right now. I'm just rambling at this point.
What
There's so much to discuss about that subject, though.
But what even defines like TikTok techno?
It's just like the short clips, right?
Yeah,
like you have like
short
Sarah
attention
Landry
span.
would be like the
Landry,
biggest, and she was from Texas, and she moved
Yeah,
out
she
there,
moved to.
and then
You know
blew
what's
up,
so
you
funny?
know?
I did not realize she was American until recently because in my head I'm like, oh, she's always in the European raves and stuff. That's such good branding. That was
she's
so
killing it.
smart.
She's killing it.
Yeah.
And she had some releases like on Mousetrap way back in the day. I remember because she was from Austin. And I think she's also friends with Sam Little Texas.
Oh, nice.
That whole crew.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Maybe we could talk to Sam.
You also got to consider that, like, if somebody's not exposed to techno, just in the live setting where techno's supposed to feel the way techno feels, and you're hearing it on a phone, like, if you have that more traditional techno, if you don't like it, you're not going to like it.
Exactly.
You kind of need the TikTok techno part of that
Exactly.
to be like, I can get to that.
I think I started liking techno when I went to a techno stage at a festival because I was like,
I didn't like EDM at all until like 2019.
Yeah.
And then I went to Hard Summer and saw like Duke Dumont.
I feel like
fire.
I feel like I need to experience something in order because like the phone could only fucking do so much. Like sometimes the audio in the phone is lowered or like whatever the fuck. Yeah, it's just experience.
I think also with techno specifically, it's one of those genres that's made to mix. And like hearing it in a live setting where, you know, the DJ is blending multiple tracks on top of each other. A lot of times also you'll see techno DJs using like the Zone DJ or what's the newest Pioneer one that has the 4 knobs on it, the V whatever.
I have no idea.
I don't like that one though. I like the Zone a lot, but like you know, you're using more bands to mix more things together, and you're making something unique that you don't hear as much in American like mainstream EDM, where you're just playing the tracks. And honestly, it's a bit more of like hip hop mixing style, where you just kind of hard cut or do like a quick transition into the next thing. But with techno, you'll like layer something on top of something else on top of something else, and let it ride, and like use loops more. And it's, I don't know. Again, as I was saying, I have a lot more fun performing it and playing it live than I did with the traditional American stuff. Yeah. But that's just me. They're both dope.
Makes sense.
You know?
Yeah. Okay. Well, so there's that moment. There's that moment with techno that you're reaching for. That idea that like you're selling a moment on social media or on Instagram, and techno in the span of a 7-minute song, there's going to be a 5-second moment.
Exactly.
Right? And I think most techno purists, like, they see anything on TikTok and they understand it's not a real techno experience. They understand that that's not authentic. Like, you got to be in the trenches for an
they're
hour.
right. Yeah, you have to, like, getting in the zone with it is part of the whole thing, and you can't really capture that in a 5 to 15
in a
second
trance.
clip.
Like, hypnotizing people doesn't even work that fast.
Yeah,
you know?
so they're right. Yeah. Like, I'm not disagreeing. It's just,
what can you do?
There's something wrong with somebody that just gets on the fucking internet and just shouts at random people, and I'm like, dude, why can't you just go make something yourself and shut the fuck up? It's so annoying.
Yeah. I think like it's just a way for people to actually recognize a techno song. Like, you can't fucking play like a 6-minute track on TikTok.
Just
people
the intro.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with that. I'm talking about just random people like shouting in the comment sections. They're like generally like just projecting, and when I remember that, it's easier to be like, whatever. But like,
I get that.
In principle, it just bothers me because like I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not going into other, peers of mine and being like, you suck.
You suck.
Yeah. Like, why the fuck are you doing this right now?
Yeah, that kind of thing. So it's just like, it's a weird world we live in where it's so easy to project any form of disgruntlement or frustration.
Like if you don't like what we make, then you make it.
Well, if I don't like something, I just scroll.
Or
just
scroll. Move on. Like, it's not a big deal.
I don't want to invite that negative energy into my heart. I just go do something else.
Yeah.
Easy.
To my heart, music is just fun, man. Yeah. And it's like I have fun with, sometimes I call out genres that don't exist. One of the wobbly dolphin thing, dolphin chord, that is not a thing.
No, I love when you do that.
By the way, guys, that's not a real thing. Or even some of the
it could be.
That's kind of my point. That's kind of my point.
A lot of labelists out there. You're making them happy.
None of this is real, guys. Like, we're all just making airwaves. It goes unce. That's what we like. okay? Just make something that makes me feel something.
Yeah, as Jester
cares what
said
it is?
on our last episode, he's like, guys, it's all the same thing. We're all using the same 4 samples.
Seriously.
So I got to
DJing is goofy as hell. The
Yes.
whole thing is goofy as hell.
Yeah.
Like you're playing music that you made at a different time.
You already
you're just
made it.
dancing to it. You're everyone's like, oh, this is fake. The whole thing is fake. Everything is fake now, man. Like, relax. Just have a good time.
It's a show. I was actually everything I'm saying is from the Beyond experience that I had, but like I said this on my story the other day. There's a lot of people that I saw that weren't having a good time. You know,
Yeah.
they were sitting there, were shivering. Or
I saw
whatever.
your
Yeah.
Was it just cold?
Well, so it was cold.
It was
I
cold.
mean,
Cold.
a little bit cold. Just bring a jacket. It's kind of my point. Is like your fun is up to you. Like
Yeah,
you're not
yeah.
supposed to be looking around for someone that's going to do that for you. Like
Yeah.
either through DJing the exact kind of music you want to be DJ'd, or saying the exact things you want to say on social media. Like life is just this weird moving
You need to just make
tapestry.
the best
and
out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Just make the best of it.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, well, sorry, shifting gears a little bit, or going back to the techno on TikTok thing. I was gonna say like, because techno.
There you go.
Techno. That's
Okay.
that's a
That's
genre
it.
right there.
That's a thing.
There
Just
you go.
because techno is coming up so hard right now. I mean, I have a bunch of questions about this. First off, why do you think techno is coming up so hard right now? And I guess we can branch off into the other questions after that.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, why do you think now out of all times?
I've thought about this a lot, actually.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, what drew me to wanting to make that style? And it was the authenticity, the purity of the rave, the idea, the spirit of the rave, you know?
Yeah.
When you think about an underground rave, what does it sound like?
Yeah.
And what kind of music would you like to be there to get yourself into that trance-like state? And
Right.
to me, techno, I would also say like D&B. I know you love D&B.
I love it all.
I love DMB too.
love it all.
I'm
Kind
a
of
huge
the-
DMB fanatic.
all the stuff that was like popping in the late 90s, early 2000s, and you see that also in the aesthetics that get used by a lot of these artists, like the very Y2K kind of
Yeah.
like, old.
All the nostalgia things are
Yeah.
coming back now as a trend.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I think because people are looking for that sort of authenticity that they cannot find in the vast majority of the social media space and the fast-paced algorithmic world that we've
Yeah.
entered. And so
Yeah.
that's like personally why I was like wanted to get into it. And that's also what I see now starting to proliferate, and that's why I've done so many shows in fucking sewers, in these random places.
The
and
train station
Yeah, the
one?
train
Yeah.
station. And
Yeah.
like, I basically was like, I need to like re-intern in the music industry
Yeah.
almost,
Yeah.
and take a huge pay cut and play the coolest fucking locations and shows I can with underground promoters that most people have never heard of, to people that have probably never heard my old music or my new music, and like rebuild
You just
myself
ran it
up.
back.
I
I
ran
like
it.
that.
I
You
ran it
just ran it
back,
back.
and I was like,
That's sick.
And everyone was like, "This is a stupid fucking idea." All the people that I were working with, blah blah.
Those are
and
the best ones.
it's been working.
Yeah.
Now it's finally
Yeah.
working, but like it definitely was not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like the natural thing that I should have done with where I was at with my career. And but it has definitely made me the happiest. And
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
having a great time doing it.
And isn't that the point?
Yeah,
I
that
feel
that
like-
should be the point.
Yeah,
right?
I feel
So-
like also like as consumers nowadays, people just want minimal
Mm-hmm.
and like just like easy, fast. Let's go. I just want something in my face already, so I could just listen to it now. Because when it comes to like more complex things, it takes a while.
Exactly.
You'd
So-
be surprised. There's a lot of insane people that listen to like Complextro and
Yeah.
Oh,
Breakcore.
Complextro was.
Yeah.
I love breakcore.
Yeah,
Also,
I love
I'm a
breakcore
big
too.
breakcore fan.
Sometimes I'm in it for a little spasticky beat, but I also like the minimal stuff. But I definitely think it's harder to agree
Yeah.
with something like that.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
For sure.
Well, and I think that's an interesting point because, like I said earlier, Nand is not really he's not really into like the techno stuff. I think this is where you can really speak about that. And I wanted to kind of like dive into why is that a thing? What is there like any sort of
yeah.
psychology behind that?
I think, particularly during. Sorry, were you going to say?
No, I was just gonna say because you mentioned that you also have like a form of ADD or like
yeah,
ADHD,
yeah.
and like Nan will be the first to tell anyone. Nan also has ADHD,
Yeah.
and so we've always kind of like joked around about how like, oh well, it's because you have ADHD and you like to hear layers and different other things in the songs, but when
Yeah.
it's broken down to
And
like
simple,
the minimalist,
yeah.
it's not as appealing. You get bored, right? But here
Yeah.
you are making
Yeah.
it the techno
Yeah.
and with that same kind of like
to me,
function.
it's more just like listening to the layering and listening to how elements are being added and removed and things like that. And there's like a certain fun, almost like being very intentional with your listening.
Yeah.
That instead of being like passive with something that is very spastic or like all over the place, which is still interesting to me. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But also back to the cultural thing you were talking about, I think a big reason why it's being proliferated in such a large way right now is because so many people during the pandemic we're not. I gotta keep saying it. Like
gets me every time
because you can't say it the other way, right?
Yeah.
It gets censored on everything.
Yeah.
I love it.
Wanted to experience like what a true rave was like, especially younger kids who did not get that opportunity, and then had basically 2 years where they couldn't go to anything like that.
I agree with that.
And so then when things opened up again, in the very beginning, like it was just undergrounds that were going on, right?
Yeah.
Like, so they got into it through that. They wanted to continue that sort of vibe, and I think that's why it's continuing to expand, because the people that now entered the rave scene through the undergrounds, they want to see that in a larger capacity.
Interesting.
So
yeah, and I was it's funny, we actually talked about this the other day when we had one of our friends on the podcast, and I was just talking about how I think, like, at least for me, I can get into something like techno because when I started listening to EDM, I started with artists like, I mean, obviously Skrillex, but also Deadmau5. I loved Deadmau5.
Is sick,
and Deadmau5's old stuff was a lot of that more minimalistic sounding, kind of creating an atmosphere first.
Faxing Berlin,
yeah,
baby.
And
oh
Faxing,
my God.
like those artists, like they were very, like you said, intentional, right? Where it's like, every like 16 count, every like 32 counts, they're like adding only just one small layer, and then like Deadmau5 would like take it all and put it all in, like, but over time it was a build up. I mean, Deadmau5 even has like a 10-minute song. What is it? HR 8393 Sephi or something like that. Yeah.
Strobe
and, like,
is my favorite. Like long
also
form
Strobe.
bit from Deadmau5,
Strobe's a classic, right? But like I get that same feeling when I listen to techno that I did when I listened to Deadmau5, and that's why like I love when techno brings in the hi-hat. It's like it's such a small difference, but it adds so much.
Make them wait.
I love that.
I was like the total opposite. When I got to like EDM, it was like more of like the kind of the end of the progressive house era, and then into like the trap future bass thing.
Yeah.
So like all the layering and stuff, like I loved in bass house and stuff. And then I got into melodic and dubstep, but now I'm starting to like techno and the minimal stuff.
And so that's why I want to know from your perspective, like how you feel about all that and what your perspective is on that, and why you think maybe you
be
don't
the devil's
like it.
advocate.
Yeah.
What do you hate about techno?
In real techno spirit, tell us what you don't.
That's
the thing is like, and I'll continue to say it. I don't hate techno. I'll just get bored a lot faster than I will something else.
Yeah.
Like we were at Sarah Landry, and I think I was enjoying it for maybe 45 seconds, and then I decided to walk away.
That's not long at all.
And I made him like come into the crowd with us for I Hate Models, and like we were having a great time. Like Michelle and I were like and I look over at Ned, and Ned's just like.
Well, also part for me, I'm not speaking for you, but this might be part of the reason why you didn't find the experience very enjoyable. Is that, I mean, when I hang out with other people at a festival, at a rave, a lot of them want to go into the crowd. I can't move in there, bro. I'm trying to dance.
Especially the crowd beyond.
I'm trying to shred. I'm trying to flow. So I'm trying to.
That's fair.
And being packed in reduces my experience of the music as well as the festival. So if he's
also
getting
at the
pushed
same
around,
time, you're getting so focused being pushed around. Like it's so hard to enjoy.
Yeah.
That's why I like staying in the back.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say we were getting pushed around though. Like we were actually kind of making our own room, doing our own dance moves and stuff.
Good.
And I feel like, I guess with techno, I feel like you benefit so much more from being in a proper setting where you can really be surrounded by the music. That's why the one enjoyable experience that we always talk about with where I know Nan was having fun was when we went to this after party after Bullseye in December, and it was in an airport, like a warehouse. Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, wait, you did.
Yeah, I was playing that one. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's great. That's really funny. That you said
Oh my
that.
god! Well, that was that was one time we were like, it's funny. We looked at each other, and it was a moment we had. We were like, are we having fun? We're having fun.
I've thought about that actually, and I think the reason why I was having fun at that too is because I was exhausted. So like
You're in a more
You were the
receptive
Lulu.
state.
yeah, I was in a receptive this is all the energy I have to put out.
So it was perfect.
I
So
would
it's
think
like-
it'd be
it's
the
like-
opposite though.
No, because think about it. With the way my brain works, I'm always expending energy all the time. That's what my body and mind wants to do. So it's looking for those layers, looking for, dubstep or melodic or whatever, trying to feel an emotion, feel a whatever to get my body to like get rid of all the energy that's like inside. But at that hangar, it's like I'm exhausted. I have no energy left to like put out.
But it was like perfect for that mood.
It was a perfect. I mean, don't get me wrong. After 2 hours, all of us were just like waiting for somebody to say, "Hey, let's go home."
Yeah.
Even though
Yeah.
we were enjoying it, but we were
Yeah.
just like, we're tired.
Yeah. I could also see how like maybe a lot of the stimuli, because there's so much stimuli in like feature based, melodic based kind of music. It's just easy. You don't have to do any work really to like think about the music itself. Whereas I feel like with something like techno or something like house,
You need
like
the environment.
you need the environment, but
Yeah.
also like I find I can enjoy techno a lot more when I'm like really listening. I'm like, what's new here? What's new in this like
I want to
next
say something
16
kind of
count?
technical, if you'll bear with me.
Yeah,
on
please.
this. Yeah.
Run it.
So, like,
I'm here. I got you.
Actually, it kind of feeds into what you were saying, Devin, about how there's like seemingly more to listen to in something like future based or with a lot of more mid frequencies.
There's just more going on.
Yeah. So you think the frequency spectrum is just as full. Technically, it's just filled with different things. But like the point that I was going to make is that techno, a lot of like the intrigue for techno happens in that bottom end, that very low rumble, that sub. And like you
That makes sense.
you can't hear that very easily.
Right.
Like you need giant speakers for those.
To feel
It's like
it.
having a bass line.
To even get exactly. So like when you get a normal song, a song that's not techno, you're going to get more of a higher frequency bass line, something that is
high
carrying
ends,
the tune a little bit more for
Right.
you. Whereas in techno, most people are going to think it sounds very similar because a lot of the intrigue and a lot of the difference happens in a frequency spectrum that we're not used to listening to.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I feel
Yeah.
well, because like speaking of like the high ends, like when I saw Dabin at main stage at Beyond Wonderland, I couldn't hear it. It was everything just sounded so because it was main stage. Like
Sound
main stage,
muffled?
just, in a way. And then
Okay.
once like Valentino Khan and who
Dylan Francis.
once they came on, it was loud again. Like because it's main stage.
Interesting.
It wasn't fit for melodic. They didn't do that.
That might have been just a bad knob turn.
Sounds like a sound
Yeah.
issue.
Sounds like a
I don't
knob
know.
turn.
Like,
Yeah.
But like, I mean,
I mean, the speakers
you do-
blew during Slander, so
Well, that'll do
Yeah,
it.
you do tune the stage like, that's why I kind of always like the Wasteland stages and the fact you
I
had 3
love
stages
the
because they're
sound-
boxed.
Yeah,
in.
the techno
sound
stage too.
bounces off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything was
It sounds great.
Yeah.
Techno stage
think-
sounded great.
I think
Yeah.
the music, the sound and music probably just didn't engulf me in the right way because I think about Bullseye like all the time, and I didn't like hard style, hard techno, hard anything before going to that festival, and now I'm in love with it.
Yeah, man. That's sick.
But I have not listened to a single thing hard anything at home since then.
Well,
Because
that's the
it's not
thing.
that kind
It's
of
not the
music.
same.
Yeah, it's like
It's-
you
yeah.
get into it
Yeah.
by seeing it live, and then it's like that's kind of been, I think, the issue with like exposing American audiences right now is like that's why Sarah Landry is doing so well. You
Yeah.
latch on to the brand of Sarah.
Yeah.
But before that, it just seemed like everyone was like, "Yo, I like the idea of techno, but I don't really
Yeah.
know
Well,
like
yeah.
who to listen to." So
And I think it's just hard to the environment just really does have to be right because I mean I went to Skyline, I went to Cross,
I
I went
feel
to
the same
like a
with
whole bunch of
house, I'm
other
sorry, like-
techno and house events.
Also, I don't think the kind of techno I even like is considered real techno, I guess. Like I really like Space 92 and High Low and stuff like that. I just
I mean,
love
they're
that.
really good though.
They
It's
are
like a,
really
it's like a vibey.
technically competent, very good producers.
so
Yeah.
good. It's
so-
such good music.
But
But like
yeah, a lot of people would call that like peak time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like driving
Right.
type stuff. So,
So.
but like to me, that's still under the techno umbrella.
I still think it's techno.
Yeah.
I mean, I call everything EDM and nothing
Yeah.
nothing is EDM. Nothing that I
yeah.
listen
But I
to.
mean, yeah, part of the techno culture is calling everything not techno.
not techno.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's a play.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, do you think we could listen to maybe another
more
unreleased?
Yeah,
music.
sure.
I need more.
Let's
Try to
yoink
convince
one.
Nan again.
Yeah. Maybe we'll play something.
One day he's
more-
gonna find that one song, man.
more
Don't
upbeat.
you worry.
yeah, but I mean all I'm
Don't
saying
worry, he's
is
gonna find that one song.
all I'm saying is I fell asleep at Cross.
Fair enough.
I kind of, I mean, I can get the
Yeah, Cross
feel on
is
that.
Cross is another animal, man.
I
That's-
left
what's this called?
Skyline 4 hours early.
This is a collab with KXCHR.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kicks, sure.
It's a little more upbeat, so maybe
Yeah.
we'll fuck with it a
He's
little
doing it
more.
for you,
yeah.
Nand.
Yeah. It's got the reverse bass,
I
so-
like it.
That's it in a way, I sleep my mind behind.
Gonna bring it back once again. Gonna bring it back once again. Gonna bring it back once again. Once again. Once again. Once again. Gonna bring it back once again. Once again. Once again. Once again.
See, I love this atmosphere that you created.
Yeah. That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
It's like setting the tone.
100%. Ooh. Oh.
Gonna bring it back once again.
So wobbly.
It's very bouncy.
Oh, yeah.
That screech.
Yeah.
Once again.
Wow.
Trying to see. I have a lot of other stuff.
This is how I know I think I'm really a fan of techno now, is I'm thoroughly enjoying all of these.
Yeah, let's play. All right, let's play another one.
It's a tapestry.
This one, I'm gonna move it up a bit.
Okay. This is called...
So this one is coming out on TX Records, which is a really dope European label. So,
Nice.
With Synthesizer, who's also on Null Sect.
Got it.
Yeah.
This vibe is very like Blade Runner.
Yeah, no, this has got like more of the hard trance elements in it.
Nice. I love that. So pretty sounding.
Whoa.
That's sick.
Epic.
Yeah, epic is the right word. Descending from the
I
heavens.
see God.
The techno god.
Dude.
Yeah, very Dune.
It sounds like dude.
Yeah, I got a Dune vibe.
Dude, this is sick. This is sick as fuck, bro.
I love.
Had to do the hardstyle kicks in there too for a second.
Fills, you just gotta throw them in there.
I love da-da. Wow.
Yeah, so-
Oh my god. Thank you for
that one. Okay,
Thank you for
honestly,
ending
that
on
one's
that.
my favorite one that you
Yeah,
showed
That
us
one
today.
has
me
the most
too.
like melodic elements.
Mine too.
Yeah,
You know,
I really like that one.
I have some more like that sound. I'm also kind of exploring more. I can't show you a lot of stuff
Oh,
because
no,
it's
it's
not totally
fine.
done.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like some of the bringing back a lot of the stuff I did with Future Bass with
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
melodic kind of breakdowns.
I hear
and
it, yeah.
juxtaposing it with the
That's so good.
heavy,
Wow.
That was
heavy
my
drops.
favorite one.
That was incredible. Thank you for showing us that.
Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. The
Yeah.
reaction it makes me feel good. Dude.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It's
Release it
it's
soon.
just a fancy, beautiful tapestry of sounds where kick drum is king, man.
Yeah, man, that's
techno.
it's
I like
fun,
that.
right?
Yeah.
Like that's I just have fun making it
Yeah.
more than anything else
As you
right
should.
now. There's like just even the process of making the kick is
It's
like
like
fun.
just putting a kick drum in there at like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just be like, okay, how much can I mess this up?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
like really the limitations kind of are what I like about it the most, because it's like I don't have to think of much about like, you know,
Arrangement-wise with
Yeah, yeah.
drums
It's like
and
it
stuff,
writes
yeah.
itself,
Yeah.
and then you just have to worry about, okay, how do I make this as like creatively interesting within those pockets
How do you
as
produce
possible?
this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow. Techno.
Smackers.
Guys, check
and
it
the
out.
hardstyle kicks are
Really.
fucking fun to make.
Yeah, they are.
It's fucking fun.
I heard
That
like
shit
that
fucks,
song
bro.
had like, or I think it was 2 songs you played had them in there.
Yeah, had the like the fills where you just like
like fake it.
that.
No.
nah, techno, but like it's fun just
Also,
for a second.
isn't hard dance, how much faster is that than techno?
I mean, hard dance I feel like is 160 to like 170
Okay, so you could get
usually.
away- yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Unless
like
you're a little
this,
Texas and it's 200.
I mean, that's I
So
love
funny.
Sam stuff. It's just it's art to
no,
me.
it's
like
same.
Yeah.
Same. Walk by his
Well, that's
sets at a
hardcore,
festival.
right?
Yeah,
so hardcore is usually like 180
I'm
plus.
I'm super guilty of saying hard style for everything.
I mean,
so
it's the hard style umbrella.
yeah, well, it's the
Exactly,
same thing
yeah.
I do with a lot of people say that to me. I say that with EDM and techno and stuff like that.
But even,
Trust me, I know what up tempo, raw style, extra raw,
Yeah.
and
Extra raw,
all those,
man.
all that good stuff, man.
Just
But
start-
like, yeah, there's a million.
A lot of
things out
people
there.
don't want to hear it, but even hard style is technically techno.
Yeah.
You know,
no.
like it's under the
agree with
larger
that.
umbrella.
Yeah.
so.
There's a lot of similarities for sure.
And
Yeah.
isn't
Hear
like
them.
techno technically trance or something
Techno,
like that?
you could say that too, and I'd be like, hell yeah, man.
Again, they're all the same.
Yeah,
I just
everybody-
thought of something too.
What?
I was standing in front of the speaker at that hangar.
Nice.
Oh hell yeah.
So that's also probably why, because I'm thinking about Bullseye. Well, their speaker was so fucking loud; it was
Yeah.
engulfing everyone all
Yeah.
the time.
yeah.
But obviously, Skyline speakers were nowhere near me, and then same thing with even at Beyond Wonderland.
Yeah.
Like Devin brought me up to the front area, but it was still an outdoor
You
area.
need the weight for
You
sure.
need the
man.
weight.
It's the
Yeah.
same as like punk rock. You need the weight of that
Yeah.
music.
the
Otherwise,
danger.
Yeah,
I need,
otherwise it's
I
kinda
need the
lost.
sound to be punching me, which is
Yeah.
Cause
It just reminds
this
me-
is kind of messed up, but
I
I'll
need
be
to get
honest.
punched,
Like
man.
Coachella last year, when I think it was like Skrillex, Fortet, Fred again. I know Devin was having a great time. I left.
Oh my god, really?
Because
During
it's
that
such a big,
legendary
it's a big
B3B?
open space.
I
Yeah.
think that was what's cool about it, and they had like
It was cool for what they were
GoPros, and they
doing.
were like just throwing it into the crowd, so the visuals
It was-
just
don't get
felt
me
like a
wrong,
big
it
party.
was-
I thought it was really cool.
It was
very
really
boiler roomy.
cool, but I'm a big Blink 182 fan. So
Oh, were they playing at the same time?
Yeah.
Well, that's
no,
understandable.
it's
right
there.
before.
Yeah,
Oh,
right before.
Okay.
So I had a great time with that, and then all
Yeah.
my energy was gone, and I was
Ah,
like,
yeah, that's
they
fair.
disappeared. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna go walk around.
You knew the speaker just reminds me of that one TikTok. It was in a European festival, and there was
The
this
guy's just in
guy.
it.
A guy was just like this in front of the speaker.
That's terrible for you. Don't do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, if you got good earplugs.
You have really good ones.
Yeah,
Really
really good ones.
Plug.
The ones that
You
live,
got
in,
good
the
ones.
ones that live inside
Protect
your
your
ear.
ears, guys, for reals.
That's a crazy idea. You should write that one down. A earplug that lives in your ear. Just like surgically,
Ah.
turn it down as much as you want.
Maybe. I think it's
See, at that point, just like take it next level, give it a translator, like make.
Yeah,
We're on the way, man.
Babblefish.
We're on the way.
Yeah,
It's
From,
coming.
Hitchhiker's Guide.
It's coming
Yeah,
soon.
yeah.
I was hoping you'd catch that.
Yeah,
42.
I was a big fan of that book growing up. I read that a few times. The movie kind of let me down
Wow.
a little bit.
I mean, it was in that era where like
Oh, yeah, the movie.
movie to
Times,
book renditions were just not the best.
No. I think they should give it another go, but I think
They should make it into a
Douglas
series.
Arthur is dead now, so I don't know if he can sign off on it. Or maybe he was dead when the original movie was signed off on. I'm not sure.
R.I.P.
RIP.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we are at the end of the episode, and so I wanted to give a quick moment to allow you to let everyone know what you have coming up soon.
plug.
Hell
And,
yeah.
yeah.
Plug.
We got a
yourself.
tour that we're about to announce, a U.S. tour
Nice.
with
Hell
some
yeah.
European dates as well.
go.
We're working on a larger collective, which I can't talk too much about, but keep an eye out for that. We will be talking about that. And I have about 20 plus tracks that are coming out
Hell
throughout the rest of the
yeah.
year
Sick.
on various labels, and a lot more silly meme content
I
Silly
sure
goofy
hope
goose
so.
time.
for the people. I have not forgotten about you. Thank you so much for having me
Yeah,
on the
dude.
podcast. I had a
Dude,
great
thanks so
time.
much for being
You're
here.
based out here in LA, right?
Yeah, I live like 10
Oh
minutes
yeah,
from
dude.
here.
Let us know when you have shows coming up and stuff. We'd love to come
Yes.
out and
Yeah.
support.
I'll
And,
let you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
guys wanna come.
if you go to a show and you want to recommend, techno music to someone like
Oh,
me who's
yeah,
still
yeah,
trying.
yeah.
Like, here's the
Yeah,
thing,
yeah, yeah.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I can select some things for you that might
Yeah.
pique your interest.
Yeah.
we love a good fun. Well, yeah, we are at the end of the episode. So real quickly, before we get into Patreon stuff, I wanted to, again, take a quick second to thank our sponsors, BoomBoom. Again, go check them out. We do have a code, by the way. So if you go, thank you. If you want to go and check out all the wonderful scents they have, definitely go check them out. They are extremely refreshing. My favorite personally is the lavender scent.
Oh yeah, it helps with anxiety. It's so nice.
It's super helpful and it's really nice.
Wow.
It's
Powerful.
really funny because Nand, Mickie, and myself all lost our lavender scents at Beyond.
I stole them.
Oh, that's where
I walked
where
by
it
at the
went.
same time.
Got
And
it.
took them
So
all
when you
from
gave me that hug, you secretly were like,
there you go.
give me that.
There you
Give me
go.
that. I gotta have 3. One for each hole.
I have a collection. Ew.
Once again, I just want to say we all want to say thank you to BoomBoom because they are sponsoring this episode and many episodes moving forward. They're our first big partnership.
Yeah.
So please go check them out.
Yeah, give them some love, guys.
Give them some love. You'll be indirectly loving us as well.
And then if you didn't already know, we do have a Patreon and we actually have a bonus segment that will be going on that Patreon at the same time this episode is coming out. So definitely go and check that out. We'll be listening to a lot of other music on that episode as well. Stuff that we wouldn't normally be able to listen to on here because of copyright, all that stuff. Sorry, I always say episode segment. I'm sorry. Nand always corrects my
I'm pretty adamant on it's a segment because it's not a full hour and a half to too long.
Yeah, it's a segment. Go check it out.
Yeah.
We listen to a bunch of cool music, and we'll probably talk some shit on there too.
Definitely.
Honestly.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah,
That's where the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's where it really gets juicy.
Swears only.
It really does. But yeah, definitely go check that out. Thank you again to all our patrons who have supported us throughout this whole thing. Is the camera about to die? Okay, all right. Well then,
finish up what you're
we'll
saying.
Just finish it on here. But thank you guys again so much for being here. Even if you're not a Patreon supporter, we still love you anyway.
love you.
Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and let us know who you guys want to see on the podcast next. And let them know too.
Smash
Let
that.
them know that you want to see them.
Smash that
Smash the like
share.
button in the
Smash that
face.
notification
Wait, they
bell. You
can't
can't
see
see
you.
us,
We
but you
can't
can
see
hear
you.
us.
Just
Punch
hear
it in the
you.
face. Trust me.
Anyways, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you guys so much again.
Bye.
Doodles.
Bye-bye.